against goodness and normalcy. P-A-G-A-N. Pagan. Nice work.
Woke, woke. I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Do you want to take a life? Do you want to cross that line? Because it's a long way back from hell.
I learned a long time ago that there's no sense getting all riled up every time a bunch of idiots give you a hard time. In the end, the universe tends to unfold as it should. Plus, I have a really large penis. That keeps me happy.
Now, what I've got here is a scrotum and nothing else.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you're lovely. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. You're so beautiful. What's up, everybody? I just got word from Mr. Chris Gore, who was currently at CinemaCon at 7:01 p.m., who said the trailer is okay. It's a teaser. Should be online now. So I haven't seen it. But honestly, I haven't looked that much. So I'm gonna go to Marvel Entertainment, and we will see if it's come up yet. Marvel. There it is. Oh, and it's live. It's got a no. That's the live stream with the countdown that's been going forever, right? Yeah, that's the live stream that's been going forever. So let's see if we have anything new. Let's see. Nope, I don't see anything new. But is it on, maybe it's on X? Hang on. I'll check before I say hi to y'all. Not yet. There is what, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. Here, we can check this out. In the meantime, hello, everybody. How you doing? We got Iron Reaper. We got Paul Simpson. We got Baby Jesus Sees All. We got YouTube channel 420. We got Nilo Wolf. The Nerd Upstairs. Pens Fan for Life. Mr. Joshua. Tony H85. Nestro Pinolios. Sorry if I screwed that up. Fluxery. Hank Reardon. Hokey something or other. Michael Carpenter. Caleb Wright. It should be any minute. But Chris didn't give me a time. He just said it's a teaser. It should be online now, but it's not. So we'll see. Maybe it doesn't come online at all. That would suck. But I thought I'd take a little break from making my Marvel video, which I've just started. So it's a couple days away. Unless I pull off some miracle and finish it tonight. Yeah. Is Chris trolling? Chris would never troll us. But I don't. Here, let me ask him. Did they say it would be made public? Chris is going to be live in a little bit too. So we'll see. And it's going to be not just a trailer reaction for him. They're going to be wrapping up CinemaCon. They showed 15 minutes of the Mandalorian and Grogu, and Chris said First 15 minutes of Mando movie is a TV show. Looks big, feels small. Credits are like a TV show. Ugh, it's for kids. Alan has a video of whole presentation, so it's probably on Alan Ing's Twitter if you want to go check that out. So while we're waiting for things, I guess I'll just show this just for visual stimulation. Let me move this over here. And I'm keeping an eye on the Marvel. Nothing new. It's just freaking Daredevil stuff. Let me make sure you guys can hear this. Oh, there we go. That's it.
Hey, everybody. Woo! Hey, pal. Things are still a little tense.
So as you know, let's get caught up on what we know about Avengers. Oh, the freaking entire plot is out there. And other than the 2 months of reshoots they're doing, that's pretty much it. So we know in Doomsday, they start out the movie with the X-Men basically versus Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man on the Raimi world, the Raimi Earth. And the Raimi Earth gets destroyed along with Dr. Octopus, Tobey Maguire, and everybody else who's on that planet. The X-Men are forced to do this because of the why do I want to say convergence? It's not convergence. Incursion. Yes, Toby gets killed in the beginning of the movie, right? So that one I know for sure. Steve Rogers, who is Captain America, does not don his Captain America costume for the entire movie, and that's so they won't take away the agency of the stolen valor of Sam Wilson's Captain America, who was perfectly fine as the Falcon, but to uplift our actors of color, we have to give them white hand-me-downs. And it is, reparations. It's creative reparations to give people of color, those poor marginalized people who have trouble using their phones and their computers. We need to give them white hand-me-downs for validity. So they feel validated from the progressive white liberal who is on high, who is reaching down from their ivory tower and go, "Here you go, little black person. Have my son's old costume. Aren't we awesome? Golly gee, we are." So Steve Rogers is not Captain America throughout the entire movie. He caused the incursions. Dr. Doom tried to stop them. It killed his family. He blames Steve Rogers. He needs to find Steve Rogers. He at first looks like he is working with everybody. So he works with the X-Men, the Avengers, and all this. Then he turns on them because he has more nefarious plans to remake the world as he sees fits. And by the end of the movie, everybody dies. And then they're resurrected for Battle World. So it's not completely unlike the Secret Wars from Hickman in 2016, which sucked balls. Not even like adapting the good one. Secret Wars 2 is better than Hickman's. It's fucking terrible. And that's when they brought Miles Morales into the 616 and yada, yada, yada. There is a big battle between Thor and Doom where Thor has the hordes of Asgard, the undead hordes, not hordes, hordes. Did I say hordes? Well, it could be the hordes of Asgard too. Hordes of Asgard fighting the hordes of hell that Dr. Doom summons. I think I saw Alan Ng talk about the battle we've all been waiting for, Shang-Chi versus Gambit. My only question is, who gets kicked in the balls? Don't know. One of them will be, though. One of them will be. Not a lot of talk about Yelena, who has been given a lot of screen time, although she doesn't take up much of that screen because she's tiny. She's tiny. And all the other characters, but we're going to have female Black Panther and no female Thor, but we're going to have Namor and Pedro Pascal. I mean, with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, you kind of understand why Sue Richards wanted to go bang the pool boy. Namor. Wait, I didn't even think about that. That is fucking funny. Namor is the pool boy now. In more ways than one. No. Oh no. He fits the stereotype perfectly. Oh. But you understand. You understand. I'm still looking, folks. Maybe it's not going to pop up. You think they would have popped it up by now? Nothing was said about making it public. If you want to join the stream, we could discuss. I might. Well, hey, this might not be a reaction, so sorry. I'll change the title later. I didn't mean to clickbait you. I just thought maybe it comes out today. We will see. We'll hang out for a little while. Was Chris drinking? I mean, yeah, but that doesn't make a difference. That doesn't make a difference. So we have a bunch of Marvel layoffs. Going on. And I guess Disney went out there and opened their presentation at CinemaCon. Rob Liefeld, the world's greatest front runner, put out there that Disney's making money. They brought in $6.6 billion at the box office in 2025. Yeah, what was the profit? What was the margin? Probably not a lot, because a super healthy company that's just freaking firing on all cylinders doesn't lay off 1,000 people from one studio, which is a lot, by the way. I mean, it's across the board. Marvel, 1,000 layoffs, including comics. David Gabriel, gone. Now, if you're a retailer, you know who that is. If you're in comics, you know who that is. That's kind of incredible. A guy I've talked to multiple times. Oh, I'm not sad. They had it coming. Long overdue in the comics front. But there are some people who didn't deserve to get fired who did. And there was a couple of them talking on X yesterday, and they just wanted to make good stuff and work for Disney, and they get caught up in all this bullshit. But this is where you can look right at the Mark Ruffalo's and Rachel Zegler's of the world. You can look right, particularly, at both of them. You can look at those two people and say, those two people played a big part in you being fired. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Because alienating half the country, ill-timed strikes, and pumping out a bunch of shit has consequences. It has consequences. And what's part of alienating half that country? Well, Mark Ruffalo is the Hulk. So whether he likes it or not, he represents Disney, and he is most certainly free to say whatever he wants. It's a free country. But he's also free to reap the consequences when you are playing a big green guy in a movie that's supposed to have mass appeal, and you're telling half the country to fuck off. and they will. So that's part. Life is full of choices. I don't know. Chris made it sound like there might be, but yeah. Let me ask him another question. Did they say? I mean, it was my choice to go live. Anything about it being exclusive? Nothing yet on YouTube. I'm starting to think maybe not. Sorry, guys. We'll see. It would be all over Twitter right now. But we'll wait a little bit. We'll wait a little bit. There is that. So I can give you a description right now. Details from the Avengers Doomsday trailer at CinemaCon. Dr. Doom revealed kneeling with scarred face. The Thor attacks Doom with Stormbreaker. Doom breaks it instantly. Steve Rogers returns, greets Thor, and summons Mjolnir back to his hand. The Fantastic Four meet the MCU heroes. Shang-Chi and Gambit face off. Mystique transforms into Yelena Belova. No word. I'm trying to figure out like if it's going to drop. Let's see. The Hollywood Handle says the trailer was fucking insane. Thor and Captain America reuniting. Mystique transforming into Yelena. Thor fighting Doom. Y'all are not ready for this. I think we are. I think we are. I think we're ready. But no word on when it's dropping. They're re-releasing Avengers Endgame prior to Doomsday, and they're calling this as a direct sequel. So all that MCU stuff, you could just forget about it. It's cool. It's cool. Hey, Casey Lang is going to return in Avengers Doomsday. So you can all be happy about that. Marvel went out there and flexed. They showed how much money they've made, but how have you done lately? Well, guess no public trailer for yet. Hopefully soon. At least it sounds awesome. So Robert Meyer Burnett says, here's what I say about Avengers Doomsday. Channing Tatum said on Jimmy Fallon, after reading the script, my first question was, how are we going to pull this story off? Then he said, you're just not ready for what's about to happen. Mr. Tatum is totally correct. Now, Robert was able to read a script, so he has that advantage. Not a single peep on what it's going to drop, though. We shall see. We'll hang out until then. We could talk about Daredevil. No word on when the trailer's coming out. I'll keep it an eye on. I'm refreshing anything, and hopefully it comes out. We'll hang out for a little while. Hopefully it comes out. I did see the Street Fighter trailer. It's good. That's okay. We don't have to talk about Daredevil. Wait a minute, guys. I am told it is as good as the Netflix show. Okay. I am told it's as good as the Netflix show. Sorry, I'm contacting Chris now. Can't. Okay. So we're gonna wait. Born Again, Daredevil Born Again. So I'm told it's as good as the Netflix show. And the last episode was the continued cuckoning of the Kingpin. They killed Vanessa. Most of you haven't seen it because most people haven't seen the show, which led to the Kingpin crying again. And I pointed out that the Kingpin cried again. Of course, people came back and said, well, you know, his wife died. That's a good reason to cry. I'm like, well, normally, sure. Why is the Kingpin crying so much? Why are you killing Vanessa? What's the point? By the time she died, I didn't care. I was glad she was gone because they turned her into an insufferable girl boss. They took this great character and reduced her into an insufferable girl boss. So sure, she died and he cried. You have to sell that. That's the whole point of a show, of art. You have to sell the art. You can't just have things happen and go, well, that makes sense. No, it doesn't. It doesn't make sense to kill Vanessa. Why would you do that? Well, we needed to give Kingpin another turning point. How many fucking turning points does the Kingpin need before he becomes Kingpin? We're on 5 by now. 5 seasons. Each season, there's been a little turning point, and he has yet to become the cool, calculating, completely in control, and ruthless Kingpin. He is an over-emotional buffoon. And they did that by reducing him into an allegory, a Trump allegory. Just real basic bitch Hollywood stuff. So it's frustrating to watch that show and see people who embodied their characters, Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio, looking like complete clowns. And this was supposed to be the improved season. This is supposed to be the improved season. So it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And it's boring. It's really boring. So if we go over a little bit, I mean, I've been going over my notes for my video. If you, particularly since Marvel and Kevin Feige have said, all you need to do is watch, which is what they said, not word for word, but you just need to skip phase 4 and 5, and it goes from Endgame to Doomsday. But you can't. See, it doesn't work like that because a lot of us have seen this stuff, and you can't unsee it. You can't unsee Kang. You can't unsee all the multiverse unresolved plot threads that I doubt they're going to address a single one in Doomsday. But if you go over all of the shows, and I think it's I have the number written down somewhere. All the movies and all the shows since Endgame. How many have been successful? And we'll look past like what I like or what I don't like. How many have been successful? As far as Disney Plus shows, I think an argument could be made that Loki season 1 was watched by enough people, was successful. Spider-Man No Way Home, which isn't really Marvel's, definitely successful. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, successful. Deadpool and Wolverine, Fox characters, successful. But how much Disney Marvel stuff has been successful? Not much. Not much, which has forced this change, which forced them to move away from Jonathan Majors when they certainly could have kept him, considering all allegations were dropped. Enticing back Robert Downey Jr. with 50 million, 70 million, 100 million. No, not really sure. and then changing their entire plan and basically going back to the legacy characters as best they can. They got to bring back Chris Evans, Robert Downey Jr. You're getting the OGs back. What you're not going to get is Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man, at least in Doomsday, and I don't think you're getting them in Secret Wars either. Considering what I know that I can't say right now. So after that, they want to throw up how successful they've been, which is interesting considering we just had 1,000 layoffs at Marvel. We had multiple flops. And those are the reported ones. We can get into Thor Love and Thunder actually losing money. Wakanda Forever actually losing money because we've never heard the real budgets on that. Doctor Strange Mom didn't make a lot of money. And it was almost $1 billion film. And all of this was following and tracking the failures from the comic books. You went right into, you being Marvel, went right into the all new, all different Marvel, followed that plan perfectly. Unfortunately, it was a plan that failed and led to the destruction of Marvel Comics, for which they have not recovered. And they're not even close to recovering at this point. At this point, it looks like they're going to maybe farm out. And it would make sense. Why would you keep an office open for Marvel in New York? Like, what's the point? It's purely symbolic and traditional, and it's sad. And this is what happens when corporations take over things. They'll probably end up closing that building down or selling it or whatever. Bob Iger's gone. Most of the Marvel brain trust is gone that Kevin Feige got rid of. And we are now over a half decade into Disney Marvel being in a undoubtable slump. Undoubtable slump. So they are desperate. They know they've fucked up. I've heard from multiple people they know they've fucked up. Kevin Feige famously said internally, when it comes to diversity and inclusion, that we've done our part for king and country. We need to start making money. We need to start focusing on profits, which tells me they weren't profiting before. Of course, the shills were out there saying everything was fine until it became unquestionable that it wasn't. Then they're like, what's wrong? Or it's YouTubers who are ruining fandom. No. It's not. It's Disney who ruined their own product, and they ruined it by using a roadmap to failure that the comics used. So those of us who read the comics went, wow, they're going in the same direction. This is going to end really badly. And here we are. Here we are on the verge of Cameo the movie. We're going to, and Lex, they should be trying this hard all the time. Whether you like how they're trying or not, that's a different story, but they should be trying this hard all the time. Last year, 3 flops: Captain African American, the Thunderbolts, and Fantastic Four. And that was a huge wake-up call for them, but they're still stuck with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. They're still stuck with legacy actors who are too fucking old. Pedro Pascal is too old for Reed Richards. And let's just throw something out there. Let's just speculate. If you're going to reboot Marvel, are they going to bring back Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. for a reboot? Then what's the point? For one, they're too old too. They need to recast across the board. Yeah, I don't know if they're releasing this trailer. It was my assumption, so my bad. But we will see. We will see. We'll hang out for a little while. We will see. I've got my people looking into it. Wolverine would be the hardest to recast. I think when you recast something iconic, you just got to go in like this. No, this might not be as good as the previous guy. So what we do is we make a great story and we move ahead. And it's not like there hasn't been success. Doctor Who did it for years. James Bond did it for years. But you can't get trapped into we can only work with this actor. That is a recipe for disaster. Like Andrew Garfield, everybody would have accepted him as Spider-Man if there was a good story. I don't think anybody really complained about Andrew Garfield being Spider-Man. It was the story he was in, right? My concern with Tom Holland still is that he's the kind of dude that's going to look like, like Seth Green. He's going to look like a kid his entire life. So he doesn't really grow into the whole man part of Spider-Man. And they're going to have to recast him eventually too. And even when they get the casting right, with Ben Affleck. Ben Affleck is, as far as the look of the comic Batman, he embodies the look of Bruce Wayne and Batman. Absolutely does. So if you want a person, forget what the story was or anything. If you want a human being that really embodies what Batman looks like in the comics, it's Ben Affleck. Christian Bale's a little too small. I heard some people saying like Batman's not this big dude. Yeah, he is. He was a big dude. Now I don't know how bulked up he was, but he was a big dude. He's a big dude. I like Christian Bale as Batman a lot. And like Michael Keaton, he's a little guy. Affleck in the suit. Listen, the suit in Batman versus Superman is great. I love it. Absolutely love it. I'm still refreshing, folks. Yeah, it's the longer it goes, the more I'm thinking it might not come out until whenever. So don't know. We it dropped at CinemaCon. They didn't say what led me to start this live stream is they did not say you guys are the only ones seeing it. But well, it's a psyop. The trailer is it's a teaser, so I can give you a description again. Chris said it's like 20 minutes long. Hang on. This will be the most anticipated trailer of the year for sure. Where did it all go now? I'm looking for the description. Yeah, they're calling it the Avengers Doomsday trailer world premiere, not CinemaCon only premiere. So the trailer is under 2 minutes, and it basically it's quick cuts. Now this is the trailer. I think this is the trailer my buddy told me about. My buddy who no longer works with Marvel. Part of all the layoffs. Part of all the layoffs. Okay. I'm looking for a detailed description. Give me a moment. Oh my God, what the fucking scrolling on Twitter. What the hell was that? Was it Hollywood Handle? I think that was it. Okay, so Doctor Doom fights Thor, breaks Stormbreaker, Steve Rogers summons Mjolnir, Thor and Steve Rogers reunite. Mystique transforms into Yelena. Shang-Chi and Gambit get into a quick fight. Oh, fuck it. Look at this. Look at this. These clowns. Fucking Hollywood Handle. The trailer was fucking insane. Thor and Captain America reuniting, Mystique transforming into Yelena, Thor fighting Doom. Y'all aren't ready for this. CinemaCon. Oh, we meant Steve Rogers, not Captain America. Please don't cancel us. No, they got it right. Dune is not beating this, says the other comment. I mean, probably not, but I'll tell you where Dune already beat Doomsday. Srenoops, whatever your fucking name is, by having bigger balls and not moving from that release date. That's where Dune has already beat you. Let's fucking go. I hope so. I hope I didn't tease you all. I should put a question mark on the title now. That's probably not a bad idea. Hang on. Edit. I'm happy that Thor seems to be the main hero, not Steve, like some of the rumors were saying. Well, the movie's mainly about Doctor Doom, Rose, but yeah, if he's the lead, I'm fine with that. Good evening, Gary. How do you feel about Paramount's movie lineup that was announced? I didn't see the whole thing. I saw them talking about a Star Trek movie, but Top Gun Maverick 3, that's good. Let's see. Okay, we got Ebenezer, A Christmas Carol. I'm looking forward to that with Johnny Depp. Billie Eilish concert film, couldn't care less. Children of Blood and Bone, that was supposed to be a Lucasfilm thing, right? Sonic the Hedgehog 4, Quiet Place 3, Scary Movie 6, Jackass Best and Last, other franchises, updates confirmed, new installments of Transformers, G.I. Joe, Paranormal Activity, Long Legs, and Paw Patrol are coming soon. But Top Gun Maverick, how come they missed that part? Yeah, Top Gun Maverick was announced. That's good. How were the tacos from the other night? I didn't get them, Jack Hamna. Actually, my son made me some tacos, so they were excellent. But I didn't go out for tacos. Were you a fan of Karen in episode of the Karen episode in DD season 3? No, Jay Parra, I was not. And that one was written by Lauren Schmidt Hissrich. My prediction, Miles Morales will beat everyone to prove he's the real Spider-Man while Peter Parker drinks green milk. The end. May as well. Fuck it. At this point. Well, they need to get done with that across or into or up in the Spider-Verse. That's it. That's the third one's called All Up in the Spider-Verse. Hey, Gary, you mentioned you dislike the recent Secret Wars comic storyline. What are your thoughts on the rest of the Hickman Avengers run? Hickman's okay. I particularly liked his Fantastic Four. He's hit and miss. But yeah, I wasn't a fan of Secret Wars. Minor spoiler, Lego revealed a set today to go along with the Spider-Man movie. It's got the Hulk, no Bruce. It's got Scorpion, Boomerang, and Tarantula. It's called Spider-Man versus Epic Hulk Clash. I love that they're throwing in those villains. I think that's cool. I think that's totally cool. Nothing yet. I keep checking. What? No. A new Transformers movie officially in the works. Shia LaBeouf returning? I don't think so. You think so? I don't think so. Excuse me. Hey, Gary, I emailed you a pic of Gobekli Tepe souvenir, subject Dr. Gordo's souvenir. I hope you got a chance to see it. Not yet, but I will. I will. Been working on videos today, or two, actually, which are not close to coming out. Heard that Gavin Newsom is in the movie and appears as a sentinel, as a sentient cosmic cube, and talks to the audience at the end and says, I fucked you good. Well, they like Gavin. He's bad for business, but man, they kept voting for him. Thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate it. Doomsday making $3 billion. Even if it's really good, I don't know if it can make $3 billion. 2, sure. Marvel with 22 million sub and only 900 people watching. Oh, well, it's a countdown clock. Let's be fair to them. I mean, I guess we should be asking, why are 900 people watching a countdown clock that's 8 months away from finishing? Episode 5 of Bored Again was such a fake out. They thought by bringing back Wesley and Foggy in flashbacks and changing the cinematography to match the Netflix show that they would win us over. And all it did was expose how far this show has fallen. And yes, Wesley and Foggy's back, and he was a flashback. So they didn't fake his death, which they did in the comics through Vanessa, Vanessa finally turning, because Vanessa was always like not really down with the Kingpin's venture, but she was a ride or die. Then she eventually, in Brubaker run, turns pretty evil. Very evil, as a matter of fact. And that's when they fake Foggy's death, but they didn't follow that storyline at all because they wanted to kill Vanessa. And the thing is, they just should have had her die in episode 4. But then they revived her in episode 5 and had her die at the end. So we can go through this long, prolonged, like Kingpin, like being sweet and loving as Vanessa and then crying at the end. It's like, what the fuck? And by the way, it's a 5th episode of an 8-episode series, wasting a bunch of time with flashbacks that were pointless. It meant nothing. It was just to show that, oh, Mercy is okay. How are we moving the story forward here? Yeah. Disney doesn't know how to make television, and they really don't know how to make Marvel. Can we change this to a Spaceballs 2 reaction? Did we get the trailer? I thought it was just a clip. I mean, certainly. I can watch a couple trailers. If whatever trailers came out today, I can watch. Well, it's just Mel Brooks talking. So it's no real footage. Otherwise, we'd watch it. Otherwise, we'd watch it. Gary, where do I start with Daredevil comics? The beginning. It's one of the most consistent runs that exist. You'd have to get through the, Stan Lee stuff, but it's really good. And believe it or not, it's good before it gets to Frank Miller. But if you really don't want to go through all that, then start with Frank Miller. It's the best thing after the last best thing. Ain't that the truth? Hear me out, Gary. How about the next fan meetup is held at a casino and you could crowdfund it and make it all the fans pay for your travel expenses and hotel rooms. And oh, wait, Comicsgate already is doing that. Never mind. They beat me to it. Garfield's Bizarre Adventure. That's just crazy enough not to work. Yeah, I won't ever do that. The whole point of a meetup is, forgive me if you've heard this one before. The whole point of a meetup is so we can thank you. We have this unbelievable gig, which was never supposed to happen. I got to pinch myself every day. And if it ends tomorrow, it was a hell of a ride. And that's it. All of this is thanks to you guys. So the least we could do is find a little place or a big place and throw you a party. And it's not really an expensive venture. It can be if you like. It depends on how much money you have, how much time, how much planning. But we have figured out a way pretty easily we don't even have to rent the places out. Now, I have in the past, so has Jeremy, to great expense. No problem. If I need to rent a place out, I will. But we've been able over the last few years, based on turnout, that we can just go to a bar in Vegas or in Orlando and go, listen, could you just give us the place for the night and you will have your best business night of the year. Now when we do the Vegas one, I buy a couple of rounds of drinks. So we get the RSVPs, right? And we match that number and say it's 400 people, 500 people, 600 people. We buy drink tickets for 1,200. So we double it. So you each get 2 drink tickets. So you get a round or 2 on me. And then we get a couple of food trucks, normally taco trucks. And again, that's all our expense. No problem. Happy to do it. And we feed you guys some tacos. You get a couple of drinks and we hang out. As far as like what is there to do with these things? There is plenty to do because we're interacting with each other. We're actually talking, right? So it's not a matter of us putting on a show or doing these other things. We're just shooting the shit, hanging out, having fun. It's a party. And they've been really fun, really fun. We have Vegas coming up in August. Certainly, we have been approached by others to charge tickets or crowdfund. Not on my watch. Nope. What happened to Avi Arad? He started MCU, my opinion. He did, and he got... Apparently, he was a little hard to work with, but I mean, he kind of got fucked over by Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige kind of usurped him. Now, it didn't help that I don't want to put all the blame on Kevin Feige. I mean, that's Hollywood, baby. But apparently, Avi Arad was kind of a pain in the ass too. He's still around. He's a producer on the Venom movies. Hey, Gary, I'm going to be in Tokyo the same time you guys are on the trip. Is there any chance to do an open public meetup? Maybe, Phil. It depends on how tight our schedule is. I will let you know. That's awesome. Simple fix. Deadpool kills the MCU. I'm fine with it at that point. And then my favorite part would be you do a Deadpool kills the MCU movie, and then Kevin Feige doesn't invite Rob Liefeld to a second party, and Rob Liefeld loses his mind. Making money on the Avengers trailer release date on Kalshi. Let's see if I don't know if it's going to pop up, guys. I don't know. You think it would have been up by now? After 15 years, not counting HG Legacy game, I'm going back to Harry Potter World. Finished first book on Audible and first movie. Loved it. Childhood nostalgia. I am halfway through Half-Blood Prince. It's freaking incredible. It's the best one so far. It is the best one as far as the audio, full cast audio goes. Over under on Rogue equipping getting Doctor Strange's cape. I don't know. I've never thought about it. Equipping? Colin, I don't know. I would love to see Brie Larson come back and do the Rogue scene. That's the one thing I would like to see. Which books do you and Ryan cover on the live streams? We're going to cover all of them, yapping. From the beginning. Thank you. Doomsday is releasing in IMAX too. The Chinese theater isn't showing Dune in IMAX, so Doomsday gets every other format, and Doom gets priority on IMAX 70 millimeter. Well, you think it should. But the fact that Dune isn't moving from that date at all is ballsy. It is ballsy. And they'll both do fine. You can release two big movies on a weekend, and they'll both be fine. The biggest question is, what's that second week drop-off going to be? Is it going to be a hollow movie that's just really fun to look at, but doesn't really have much of a story? What I have been told is it doesn't have very much of a story. Have you watched Primal Caveman Show? Definitely want to see with your boys because it's truly a caveman show. It's only 3 short animated seasons. I've seen the first 2. Oh, yeah. Love that show. Tartakovsky's awesome. When is A Night of the Seven Kingdoms review coming out already? Ooh. Someday. My trailer stream is under attack by the woke left. Why use Yelena? Florence Pugh is cringe and doesn't fit Black Widow character. Joe, I don't know what they love about her. I mean, okay, as Florence Pugh, as an actress who isn't in Marvel stuff, I'm fine with. But her like stage Russian accent is shit. And Yelena is a nothing character. Absolutely nothing character. Where Black Widow had so much depth. Yelena's just annoying. Shout out West Texas, Bills Mafia, Beardo Fat, Stephen DeLeon rules all. Hell yeah. Shout out West Texas. Joe Way's a new member. Welcome. I recently watched The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Can't wait for season 2. By the way, that Earthworm Jim Easter egg was a sight to behold. Holly Movie Star, thank you very much. Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince illustrated book with new artist on. No shit. Finally. God. That has taken forever. It's on pre-sale, huh? I got to look. I know I'm streaming, but sorry. Yeah, because the last artist, I think, had a nervous breakdown. Fucking artist, dude. Fucking artists. Like, you have this, and somebody works all their life as a painter or an illustrator or a filmmaker, And then they get the biggest gig of their fucking life. You get to draw Harry Potter books for the course of a decade. So you are working for a decade. You are set. Something, I don't know, 1 in a million artists gets to be set for a decade, getting residuals, probably making pretty good money. You'll probably never have to work again, so you can do whatever art you want to do after that. And then they're like, I'm having mental problems. Now, artists are sensitive people, very sensitive people. And you never know what's going on, but fucking hell, pull it together. You know, it's not going to help your, you know what's not going to help your mental status? Regretting leaving the greatest job of your life. Straighted. Let's see. Yep, there it is. October 6th. Holy shit, right in time for Christmas. Right in time for Christmas. Nice. Thanks for letting me know. Gary, could there be a mini UK meetup if you and Ryan come out for the Mad King play? Maybe. Oh, yeah, shit. Those tickets went on sale yesterday. Hang on. No. I'll look later. I can't do it on a stream. But yeah, that's a possibility. I don't even know what town the play is in, but I'll let you know. If Black Cat isn't in the upcoming Spider-Man film, I'll be incredibly disappointed. That you're going to be disappointed, bass player. Now would be a perfect time to introduce her. It would be, but they won't. Wilson Bethel, Bullseye, did an interview about episode 4, and all I thought was how they did. They wrote him terribly. Shame, because he really looks like a solid dude. He's great as the character. He's a waste, just like Charlie Cox and Vincent D'Onofrio. Just recently finished Peter David's Aquaman. Great run, and I love Jeff Johns' Aquaman. Thoughts on those runs and Aquaman as a character? Aquaman is not my favorite character, like not even close. But Peter David's run is my favorite. I didn't mind Sub Diego as well. I'm hearing Darth Maul's show is good, but I'll probably wait till it's all out. I don't know. What do you say? I don't care what you say. I like The Boys and Invincible. Still need to catch up on Daredevil. That's okay, man. Dog, like who you want. It's all good. Thoughts on the Gotham show? Really silly, but I watched it all. Even if it's just will be in X bar on X date. I don't know what that refers to. Sorry. Are the Lord of the Rings 4K worth it? Absolutely. 100%. Oh my God, yes. Easy fix, deep cuts. It's all in Tommy Westfall's head. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. Don't worry, Gary. I'll put the blame on Kevin for both of us, as well as Mahler, as an X-ray girl. Happy birthday, X-ray girl, by the way. Joshua Pope is a new member. Chris broke it down. He said it wasn't anything super special, but cool, and nothing about the actual story, and then mentioned re-release of Endgame and Infinity Vision. Yeah, Infinity Vision is coming out. Hang on just a second. Hold the phone. Okay, I'm back. It doesn't look like it's coming out, guys. Not tonight. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow. And listen, I love Chris to death, but sometimes he says stuff is nothing special, and then you see it and it's pretty rad. So, you know, we got to see it with our own eyes. I'm not expecting anything groundbreaking for sure. That Infinity Vision is interesting. So Hollywood's trying to do stuff to entice you into the theater to make the theater experience better, which I am not against at all. The problem is, are they going to pass that cost on to the theater? Fucking Tom Rothman comes out and goes, "Hey, movie theaters. I'm going to burp. Hey, movie theaters. Stop showing a half an hour of ads before your movies." And listen, I'm for that. Hey, Tom Rothman, stop releasing Madam fucking Web and Morbius and make something fucking worth going for. You know what? The movie theater is kind enough to tell you, if you don't know by now, you can call and find out exactly how long the ads are. They are normally 25 minutes, but it's good to call and check ahead. And you just time it for that. So if you're seeing a 7:00 movie, you're seeing a 7:25 movie. There you go. Problem fucking solved. The movie theaters need to make their money somehow. They need to charge us $100 for fucking popcorn buckets. Tom, make better movies and give theaters a better cut. And don't make fucking Morbius, dipshit. I'm rewatching Smallville and got to the episode with Black Canary, and all I thought was how wrong they did the character and Arrow, specifically the costume. Yep. Oh, yeah. I'm here for Superman Doomsday trailer. Oh, wait. Well, we can watch that. There is a Superman Doomsday. It's actually pretty good. Are you the only big streamer to sign a Rumble contract and not completely crash out? Who is in charge of FNT now that the quarter pounder lost his mind? Well, Steve Bannon is in charge of Friday Night Tights now, according to some on the internet. According to some, am I the only? I don't know. I mean, there's always time, Black Cane. There's always time. I hope they don't go to American with Gojira. I hope they don't either. That trailer looked pretty awesome. We can watch that. Son of a bitch. I thought they would really release the trailer again. What are they fucking waiting for? I mean, it's got to be coming out soon. Fucking Robert Downey Jr. walking out there like he's a man of the people. He demanded upwards of $100 million. They had to buy a fucking house in a residential neighborhood just to negotiate the deal, to make him feel special. He has an army of people around him. And I am told, this will surprise none of you, that he is fucking insane. Is Disney creative accounting catching up with them? Yes. Yes, that's why they're laying people off, Matthew. They just went out in CinemaCon and put the big, Disney made $6.6 billion. It generated $6.6 billion. I'm guessing they made $1 billion. I don't think I'm far off. So they generated $6.6 billion, but that's not what they profit. So the problem is, as you know, Matthew, because you're a smart guy, Disney's been making money off of their experiences. The cruise ships which have the most insane overhead. I don't know how anybody can make money off that shit. I honestly don't know. But the cruise ships and the parks, both insane overhead, but that's where they make their money. And that has been covering up for the movie studio, which has not been making money, because they could talk about all this generated money. Let's go ask them on Brave. So how much debt is Disney in? As of the fiscal year ending December 27th, 2025, the Walt Disney Company reported a total debt of, are you ready? Are you sitting down? Because I'm guessing none of you are in this kind of debt. I repeat, as of the fiscal year ending in December 27, 2025, the Walt Disney Company reported debt is a total of $46.64 billion. But the good news is it's down from the $49.52 billion in the previous fiscal year. They knocked their debt down $3 billion. They knocked their debt down like 4%. Now, there's a lot of ways you can, hell yeah, Brave is awesome. I should have moved to it sooner. So, I know there's operating debt. There's a lot that goes into that. And I'm not a financial analyst. I am a simple man who was kicked out of 3 high schools, who runs a business, Nerdrotic LLC. We operate with, let me think, 0 debt. Zero debt. Obviously, a little smaller than Disney. And there might be loans you have to have and all this other bullshit for the parks and everything, I understand. But $46 billion just seems a little high. I think if you are a business that operates to provide services or sell things to profit, continually being almost $50 billion in debt doesn't sound successful, doesn't sound profitable. And this is where I don't believe in the stock market at all, because it's all potential. Sure, there's some tangibles and blue chips and all that other bullshit, but what makes Disney worth $100 a share? For real. The idea of it, the parks, it's been stuck at $100 a share forever. It's a fucking shell game. It's a shell game. It's bullshit. Again, not a financial analyst, but I like tangibles. Gold. I don't sell gold. I'm not sponsored. Gold. Go with gold. Maybe we go with what Gundam said will be the future currency of the post-apocalyptic world that I don't disagree with. Vintage porn on VHS. Mr. Bedford goes, oh. That's what he said famously on a stream. Yeah, so operating in $46 billion of debt, and that's much higher than Paramount's was. It's higher than Warner Brothers was. But Warner Brothers and Paramount stock trades at respectively $30 a share, which should be at $8, and $10 a share, which sounds about right. Sounds about right. Now, Netflix operates at $100 a share, but that makes sense to me because Netflix doesn't have fucking overhead. They have a building, they have servers. That's it. I think they run some studios, own a couple of theaters, but that's it. They have a building in, I don't know if they moved it or not. They have a building in Northern California. I've been to it. They have one in LA. I've been to that one too. I was in the Netflix building in early days, like DVD days. We're trying to get Gundam back on FNT. He's a busy guy, though. So it is creative accounting. Yes. Creative accounting, Matthew. And now that Iger is gone, Josh DeMeo comes in, and it was agreed upon. It's like, we need to do these layoffs. Iger didn't want to do it before he left to preserve his legacy. So the new guy's I'll fucking do it. I want to be CEO. I look a little bit like Liberace. I'll fire everybody. The weatherman is gone. Kathleen Kennedy is gone. Jennifer Salke is gone. But nothing seems to change. Zen Zoltan. Hello, Gary in chat. Hail, Gary. Did you see Primal Season 3? Not yet, buddy. I will. It'll probably be some weekend, though. Has Disney creative... I read that one. Spider Simp. Peter looks like a total wimp. No Way Home was really groovy. They never should have made the stupid movie. Hey there. There goes the Spider Simp. He looks at his phone, instantly cucked. If they don't get this movie right, Sony's fucked. I'm just trying to go on with it. The only good thing about like Spider-Man getting cucked by MJ, well, it's not a good thing, is she's not really MJ. Gary, I just rewatched Venture Brothers from the beginning to the end. It's really one of the greatest shows ever. Mahler needs to get on it. Show is underrated. Don't tell Jeremy it's underrated. But it's underrated. How the continuity of it is unbelievably tight. New Mando trailer looks like Woke Swalwell. Did they release a Mando trailer? Can we react to fucking something? Mandalorian and Grogu. Nope. Yeah, okay. So maybe they will release a Doomsday trailer. How long did they wait to release this trailer after it wasn't long. I'm just trying to extrapolate. Okay. I know it says Doomsday trailer reaction, but we need to react to something, shall we? You guys okay with that? You all right with that? 2 days what? Does it come out in 2 days? Saturday. Why would they release it on a Saturday? That'd be weird. React to Jeremy to reacting to me on Interstellar. I got a fucking phone call. He's all fucking chewing me out. He's like, dude, you got this wrong. And it's like, I misspoke on a live stream, but because I said that Cooper creates the black hole, and I meant to say wormhole. And I'm like, you just actually me. You called me to actually me. What I said about we'll watch Mandalorian and Grogu, and then I'll get into what I said about Interstellar. Let's go. You guys ready? Fuck off.
We've all heard stories.
Already, fuck off. Fuck off with Yoda's theme to Baby Yoda. God. Seriously, Disney, you paid billions for Star Wars. And look what you've done with it. Look at where it's at. Imagine going into a coma in 2008, right? big Star Wars fan, big Star Trek fan, big Doctor Who fan. 2008, 2009, you go into a coma and you wake up and you're a little frightened and confused about the world. And your now fully grown daughter comes up to you and goes, Dad, it's going to take a while to get used to things. So let's take baby steps here. You're a big Star Wars, Star Trek, Doctor Who fan. Hey, those things are still around. As a matter of fact, while you were out, Disney bought Star Wars. You're like, what? Yeah, and they made a bunch of Star Trek series, like multiple. What? Doctor Who's still on the air. They've changed doctors a couple times. So you're stuck in the hospital and you're like, okay, man, at least that, like, while I'm recovering and trying to get used to missing, what is it, 18 years? 18 years of my life, I can catch up on new Star Wars and Star Trek and Doctor Who while I learn how to walk and pee and shit again and use my voice. Sounds great. And then he watches The Acolyte and Starfleet Academy and Doctor Who Series 15. And in a rush of self-preservation, his brain puts him back into a coma again immediately. This is what's happened to our beloved franchises.
Of the Mandalorian bounty hunter and a child.
I only hunt Imperial war criminals. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
I'm going to talk like this throughout the entire movie. I'll take out every bad guy and then go blow my Jewish boyfriend, which will upset the Free Palestine people. But I'm too gay to care. Pedro Pascal.
This isn't about revenge.
What?
It's about
what? No, they did not do Darth Vader's theme.
I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Fuck it. I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
I'll take out every bad guy in your deck of cards.
Why are you playing Darth Vader's theme?
This isn't about revenge.
Why are you playing? Why are you playing? Shut up, Sigourney. Why are you playing Darth Vader's theme? He's not in the movie. He's dead. He's dealt with. What happened to the men? Why is Disney shit filled with elderly women? Why are you looking for the modern audience with elderly women?
This isn't about revenge. It's about preventing another war.
I'm so worried another war is going to break out.
Before going into
the
harm's way,
huts.
check your armor first.
Oh, he's going to put on the cutesy
We're
bootsy
protecting
armor.
everything the rebellion fought for.
Oh, fuck. Okay, she has osteoporosis. She is not flying around in a fucking fighter.
Rebellion fought for.
God damn it. You know, she was old when she fucked up the Defenders, and that was a decade ago. She's going to break her hip the first barrel roll. Sigourney Weaver should be writing $12 checks to her grandchildren. But this is female empowerment. I mean, it's literally Kathleen Kennedy. Kathleen Kennedy just cast herself as a general and an X-Wing pilot on her way out the door.
Good luck.
Oh, cutesy bootsy. Oh, look at those little cutesy bootsy bootsies. I want to step on all of them. Oh, those effects don't look good either. They do not look good. There's something off about them.
Hey.
Oh, the horrible baby. The bad baby.
Oh my God. And all the girls are going to go, oh my God, it's so cute. At the bed, baby. Repeal the 19th.
Strap in.
We need a professional.
Hang on.
What happens when you're not there to protect him?
You good?
Hopefully he dies. What happens when you're not there to protect him? Oh, of course. Dave Filoni has to have a fucking dog. I know this is some Clone Wars shit. I don't care.
I'll be right behind you. Go. Go.
Okay, what's the point of that armor?
Mandalorian, you will suffer.
God, I hope Pedro suffers. Look, he's about to get eaten by a giant white penis.
Then it will be his turn.
Monsters. The old protect.
Monsters. Acting.
The young. And then the young. Protect the old.
Oh.
It's time.
Listen to all this dialogue. It's time. The young protect the old. Better hold on.
Are you scared? You should be.
Good job, baby.
Oh, the cutesy boots. He said, good job, baby.
This is the way.
That looks like stock graphics. First Star Wars movie in the theaters in over 6 years. And it's an episode of television with the Babu Fricks. With the Babu Fricks. See, I'm glad I waited, Garrett, because now we've got material. I had a couple ideas for a video. And for both videos, I'm like, they need something else. It has been provided. It has been provided, Garrett. Cancel your plans this weekend. He's like, I didn't have any plans. Well, you super excited for the Star Wars, guys? The Star Wars. The follow-up to the Rise of the Skywalker. No, the chat says no. Disney is evil. When you're a corporation that insists on teachers teaching butt sex to kindergartners, you're evil. Nope, no Doomsday trailer. I'll keep an eye out for it. At least we got to watch one. Thanks for reminding me, chat. You guys are all right. If there's any more trailers you want to watch, let me know. We could probably watch Godzilla. Yeah, the EU, for which I have not, most of the EU that I have read was Dark Horse Comics, right? I've read some books too. They were pretty good. They're pretty neat. Ryan doesn't like Dark Empire. I fucking love Dark Empire. I think it's awesome. There is a full audio drama of it too. And Billy D. Williams plays Lando in it. But yeah, that's all they had to do. I remember early days of my podcast. This was early days when we were only doing it like once or twice. And I honestly don't know if they exist anymore. I think a lot of them are gone forever because something happened to our website and I think they got trashed, which is too bad. But I remember reacting to the EU going down and just going, and this was when we're still like, hey man, what's Disney going to do with Star Wars? This is going to be pretty exciting. They what? They canceled the EU? Are we sure this is a good idea? Turns out it wasn't. Pedro Pascal is waiting for you to go offline to publish it. Fuck Pedro Pascal. Well, I'm sure his boyfriend does every day. Speaking of Superman Doomsday, I finally broke down and started watching Superman James Gunn, and I didn't even get past excuse me. Get past James Gunn's dog rescuing Superman 3 minutes in. Yeah, I'll never watch that movie again. It is not good. Can we change MAGA to MAGA? Make Marvel great again? I wish we could. I don't think that's possible. I don't think that's possible. Like I said, I can't say much. Said more than I should have, but hear what I'm saying. Once Secret Wars is out, and after the end of Secret Wars, and I know what happens at the end of Secret Wars, they're going to reboot. So it's not going to be like different from what they did in the comics. Okay, it's going to be different, but concept is the same. You with me on that one? So if you read the Secret Wars comics and you know what happens at the end, the concept is the same. And they're going to start making new movies in this new MCU that's going to be rebooted. Now, obviously, everybody knows they're going to be doing X-Men stuff, and that's going to be their primary focus. But they're keeping some stuff and getting rid of others. And I don't know specifically what is what, but I threw out the example of, are you going to bring back Robert Downey Jr. again as Iron Man and Chris Evans as Cap? And if you do, for how long? And what, I mean, RDJ's old. I don't want RDJ back as Iron Man. I want a new Iron Man. I want them to restart the entire thing from scratch in order. I want them to get rid of all the fantastic, like everybody, and recast everybody. For one, it would generate way more excitement. But you're going to stick with Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards and this fucking idiot as Namor, because they don't have the rights to Submariner. So they had to make him drastically different. But he's such a great character that they've made into a pool boy, basically. He's the pool boy. He's the pool boy. He's Sue Richards' pool boy. Got my plane, hotel booked for Vegas. Awesome, Mikey. I'll see you there. I just got back from Vegas. It's nice. The Hard Rock, I don't know how much of it will be done, Mikey, by the time you get there, but the Hard Rock is going to be, it's a hotel that's a giant guitar. It looks amazing. By tonnage, Disney is the 5th largest navy in the world. They make money by sheer scale. The internet gets its pound of flesh from everyone. KC has been playing the internet blood sports too long. They went after Melanie and Razorfist. KC had it coming. Razorfist even provided receipts. Who's KC? Oh, who's KC? The true wild one. Who's KC? Chat. Oh, Kino Casino. I mean, the internet's the internet. It's all part of it. We all have to understand what goes with the gig. And there's certain unwritten rules. And one of those biggest unwritten rules is don't false flag. You know, it's right up there with don't snitch in prison. Just don't do it. We all get criticized, okay? We all get criticized. So no matter where you are on the issue, I stay out of this shit, by the way. I'm fine getting asked about it, though. I'll tell you what I think. I don't know if it's going to be the best answer in the world. But I'll just say this. I have been criticized a couple of times on the internet, once or twice. I catch a hell of a lot of strays, but people come after me. And when it first happened, early days, you're like, whoa, what the fuck? But you know, it's a mindset to content creation and to anything creative or any job you do. There is a mindset because there's going to be problems with whatever job you take, right? Not everything is great. You have to get along with coworkers you don't like, or, you know, I had to do that a lot in parts. But what I have learned is I've got the best advice I got from a content creator in a video was compete against yourself. That came from a quartering video. And I took it to heart and really thought about that. And that's all I've ever done. I don't give a shit what other people do. And when other people are successful, that's great. It's awesome. It's not like, I think it's a mentality that there's some kind of fixed pie. It's not a fucking fixed pie. So if somebody else is successful, then they're taking something away from, I'll use my I statements, taking something away from me. That is a defeatist mindset. A completely defeatist mindset. So compete against yourself. Mind my own business. And people are still going to fuck with you. People are still going to go after family members. People went after my family members quite a bit. And what I did was understood that this is the internet. And in the early days, I had talked about having wife and kids. Would I change that now? I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I don't recommend everybody do that. I just never thought anybody would watch or listen. So forgive me. But yeah, they do that, and they do it to get attention. They do whatever reason they do it. They do it because it's the internet. That's just what happens. What I did was nothing. Let people have their say. It blows over. Is it great to hear? No, but it will blow over. You can get in the mud and sling around, and it's an absolute fucking waste of time because it's on the internet. It's not the real world. So didn't take it that seriously. My family knows what's up. I'll give you one story. When the Taco Bout shit happened, that's the worst blowback I've ever gotten. I had press outlets contacting me. I had local San Antonio news contacting me. My son at the time, my youngest son, was going to a private religious school here in town. They got a phone call, a threatening phone call over my fucking Blue Beetle review, and threatened my child at school. I didn't bring attention to it because I don't want to bring attention to these things. Yes, the Taco Bout it shit. People are insane. You just got to accept that. But that's part of it. The thing is, though, I also have to keep in mind that I throw a lot of criticism in Hollywood and at corporations, and I have to be able to take it if I'm going to dish it out, even if it's something as crazy as that. Because I'm going to sit here and tell you, I'm not worried about it. I'm not. I mean, I'm not dumb about things, and we have security, and I keep my head on a swivel and all that stuff. But in reality, I'm not worried about it. And like I said, it sucks when, somebody's going after a family member, but that's part of the gig. And you just got to kind of just roll with it, and it eventually blows over. And I don't get involved in that stuff because it's a complete distraction from what I'm doing, which is having fun and doing my thing. I've been through far worse in life than somebody besmirching me on the internet. So maybe I have that grading curve to work off of. Like, I've been to prison. I've been homeless. You know what? Somebody calling me a fucking racist fuck or whatever on the, so who cares? Who cares? Tacos do sound good right now. Just discovered Puppet Edgar can watch it all day. What's a Puppet Edgar, Uzi? I don't even know what that is. Y'all watch Mall Show Lord for fun with Mahler? Shadow Lord. God, I thought it said Mahler. I'm dumb. Aurora Uplinks. I'll read it again. Will you watch Mall Shadow Lord for fun with Mahler? I'm going to be watching something in the future for fun with Mahler, but not that. I could care less about the Darth Maul show. I wasn't a huge Clone Wars fan or Rebels fan. I never took it seriously. I personally never took it as canon in any way, shape, or form. I watched it like casually, like you'd watch a Saturday morning cartoon. And I've some people have said it's good. I don't care. I'd rather watch Stargate. But if you're enjoying it, cool. And the thing is, let's just say it's good. Let's just say it's really good. Nobody's watching it. Nobody's talking about it. And this is the apathy phase that a lot of us were discussing many years ago when we said, hey, Lucasfilm, hey, Disney Marvel, don't go down this road. Don't go down this road, because this brand, which could have been a money printing machine for the rest of time, will have an expiration date. And while people are still angry and calling you a bunch of, we're all calling each other a bunch of shit, and the Last Jedi stuff is going on, that's people still caring. It's when you hit the crickets phase that you need to worry, and that's where we're at. Doctor Who, apathy phase. Star Trek, apathy phase. Star Wars, apathy phase. Marvel, still got a little in the tank, but we're getting close to the apathy phase. DC, right back to the apathy phase. Genre is in trouble. Genre overall, franchises overall are in big trouble. Spencer Pratt was on JRE. It's good. Save Cali. I watched it, Mad Dog. He was really good. Talking about the homeless industrial complex. I hope he wins. Wow. Short throw projector screens are $1,600. Yes, the screens are $1,600. Yeah. A little more than that if it's 120. It's more like 2,000, dude. No, I need my theater room and my projector room and set up for that. So I have no choice. But I wasn't going to drop. I need a new projector. I mean, first world problem. So like, guys, I know, some of you are dealing with like hard times in life and expensive gas, but think about me and my projector dying. Okay. Stop being so selfish. And, we had a guy come out and quote $20,000. And it's like I was possessed by my dad. It's like, that's ridiculous. I can find something cheaper. And I did. But not that much cheaper. Aurora Uplinks, did you hate or like the Star Trek story idea? I haven't seen it yet. I will give you an honest opinion. I'll respond in the email. Thank you. Albert Not a Retro for 10 Canadian pesos. Peter is the D-bag in this movie. He was supposed to let MJ and Ned go. She's got a new guy, and now she's being now he's being a bird dog. Bring in Sydney Sweeney as Black Cat, and let's move on. I agree. She's not even really MJ. So you could bring back MJ. You could bring in MJ. Mary Jane Watson. Here's the deal. I think there's rights. I think there's some kind of rights gobbledygook. Particularly when you're splitting stuff between Marvel and Sony. This is just speculation, but I think in negotiations, Sony's like, you can have these characters, you can't have these characters, or if you want these characters, it costs you this much. So why don't we just say it's an MJ and not call it Mary Jane Watson? Because if we call her Mary Jane Watson, we have to give Sony an extra 30 million, 10 million, 500,000. I don't know. That's what it sounds like to me. Or they could be just that dumb. And we need to get Zendaya. Listen, I don't hate Zendaya. I don't. I don't want any harm to come to her. I don't think she's ever been particularly annoying on the red carpets or anything. And she just looks like she's 12. I would be way more concerned with the people over, let's say, 25 that are attracted to her. Just me, though. Colin Walker for $9.99. I have exactly one college credit. That's one more than me, buddy. I work for an awesome company. If you have fry cook effort in a bachelor degree world, y'all excel if you're genuinely interested in learning. I'm responsible now somehow. Yeah. Oh, boy. Look at a lot of the entrepreneurs in the world and see how many of them do not finish fucking college, much less high school. It's a lot. It's a mindset. Definitely need to go to university to be a doctor, geologist, something highly skilled. I don't know. I don't think South Park had it too wrong. And if you send your kid to become an electrician, they will be set for life and they will make a lot of fucking money. Trade School. 2002 Clone Wars cartoon is still awesome. The Tartakovsky one is really good. Really, really good. Whenever I hear the analogy about a guy going into a coma and coming back and seeing reality for Star Wars, I remember the episode of The Simpsons where a guy recovers, and he finds out what happened, and he says, good night, and he dies. We might actually, Garrett, use that clip. Oh, Perry, don't use that because that's going to be part of our video. Don't use that coma analogy. It's going to be part of our video. Hey, Gary, did you see my super chat from Streamlabs under the name Carthoon from last week? TLDR, a manga anime story in Sheboygan. No. Did we do it in a square up though? Betrayer I can look it up real quick. Give me a minute though. I despise Star Wars since 1994. It was always mid. It's not for everybody. It's definitely not for everybody. Here, hang on. Yeah, it doesn't look like we're getting a Doomsday trailer, guys. Sorry. I guess I'll have to put a Mandalorian and Grogu trailer reaction. Allow. Trying to get in there. Discussing Film has uploaded the trailer on X. For real? All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look. I'm blocked by them, by the way. It's probably blocked by now. Yeah, it's gone. I don't see anything. Just the description. If any of my peeps out there have a link, dun, dun, let me know. Monsters. This from a bounty hunter who cut some dude in half in the first 10 minutes of the first episode. They massacred my boy. Yes, Nandy. For $49.99. By the way, happy birthday, Gina Carano. Speaking of the Mandalorian. She's looking good. I'm a happily married man, and her boyfriend. I don't fear too many people on this planet. A little scared of her boyfriend. All right. But looking good, lady. It's a smoke show, and I say that in the most respectful way. Why not use Christoph as Dr. Doom 2 red herring? No, I don't know. I don't know why you would cast Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom and then him not play Dr. Doom anymore after this. So why not just cast I don't. Okay, I know why they did this. You're asking, it's really neat to have Robert Downey Jr. back, but why in the fuck is he playing Dr. Doom? Because they needed to get butts in seats. The word that I heard directly from multiple people at Marvel is they don't care if they make a profit off this. That is not the point of this movie. The point of Doomsday is to get butts in seats. It's to get people excited about Marvel again, get the train rolling again, and they will pull out all the stops, and they're gonna wait till Secret Wars. You think there's a lot of shit in Doomsday? Wait till fucking Secret Wars. But that's they want to turn things around. They have realized they fucked up and they want to change. But it's hard to convince me of that when in the last calendar year you have released Captain African American, the Thunderbolts, Fantastic Four, and Ironheart. And then you release this dog shit Daredevil, which is MCU through and through. It just is. I want to put that phrase to bed as much as anybody. But when you take 5 significant male characters and replace them with women and have them surrounding the 3 major male characters that are left and bossing them around or taking screen time, everybody got here. I'll show you what people got triggered about. These fucking. I'll try to be respectful. I don't know why bother. And I did this. I'm looking at Gina again. Sorry, I got distracted. Now I did this specifically to get the reaction I got out, but it's hard to convince me Marvel has changed when they're doing shit like this, and there's no excuse. This wasn't filmed 3 years ago. This was filmed a fucking year ago. A year ago. And it tells me that they haven't changed. You can want to change all you want. You can want to change all you want. You could talk about, listen, I did. You could talk about quitting drugs or drinking forever. There's always, remember those commercials from Southern California, olds like me? I'll get to it tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. So this is a thumbnail from episode 3 of Daredevil Born Again season 2. So I just screen captured their thumbnail. Notice the positioning on this. Now, nothing is accidental. Everything is thought about. That little light in the background is thought about. That shadow against the wall is thought about. Everything in this image is thought about. Karen Page is in front of Daredevil. And I simply said, Daredevil Born Again summed up in one image. Now, understanding that I'm dealing with the internet and the lowest common denominator, of course, the Marvel stands will come in and go, it's not all about Karen. Tell me you haven't seen the show. Are you an insecure male? I'm not really that mean, but I could start showing you the images of the people who are calling me an insecure male, but I won't. I'll just explain to them very slowly so they understand. The image sums up the entirety of the show. It's not just Karen Page. It's not just Vanessa. It's not just Kirsten McDuffie. It's not just BB Urich. It's not just Heather Glenn. It's not just assistant mayor, diverse woman, or governor woman. It's the image sums up the entirety of the show. The image, and my point, involves Karen Page, but is not solely about Karen Page. It's about the excessive amount of female energy in a show made for men where the male titular character is a guest star in his own show. Therefore, him being behind Karen Page. Karen Page is a supporting character at best. She was a great supporting character in the Netflix show. She had tenacity. She had guts. She was resilient. She was also kind of a fuck up. Big fuck up in the comics. Big drug addict. Big snitch. Ends up big dead in the comics. But no, they've reduced this character with some complexity into Disney female protagonist number 37. Whatever agency she had, because she had vulnerability, they have taken that away because they cannot portray women being vulnerable. This comes down from the HR and departments and whatever departments. This comes from the excessive amount of female executives who don't understand male properties. So you take a character that everybody liked, and now we're annoyed as shit by her. Same with Vanessa. Vanessa was a ride or die wife to the Kingpin. The Kingpin should be, by the 5th season, the Kingpin should be in complete control. Unstoppable. Unmovable. Ruthless. Calculating. He's fucking slobbering and having temper tantrums and fucking crying again. His wife died. So fucking what? He was crying 2 shows ago in Echo. You do have to keep in mind how many times you have your really frightening villain fucking crying. Well, he wouldn't be a great Trump analogy if we showed him. This is, by the way, their caricature of Trump, right? However you feel about Trump or not, their caricature of Trump is that he's this over emotional blowhard and everything. Well, that's not the Kingpin. That's not the Kingpin. So we're 5 seasons in to this series, and Vincent D'Onofrio has yet to be the full-fledged, full-grown, full-blown Kingpin, and never will be, because he got his ass beat by Kate Bishop. He got his ass beat by Echo, and then Echo took away his trauma, and he cried. I guess his eye healed because he got shot in the fucking eye. Oh, let's not forget Daredevil's Walk of Shame and She-Hulk. Let's not forget last season where Vanessa cucked Kingpin over and over again. Oh, by the way, she cucked him this season too. Because Kingpin basically bullied his way into her organization that was running better than it ever was in his absence. His wife died. Why are you killing Vanessa? Why on fucking earth would you kill? Why would you keep Kirsten McDuffie around? Why would you keep Heather Glenn around and kill Vanessa Fisk? Well, we needed to give Kingpin a turning point. He's had fucking 5 turning points. People can like what they like. That's fine. And I try not to hurl insults at plenty being hurled at me, but it's like we can keep it on the show. We can keep it on the show. I could say things like, I understand you're entertained by laser pointers. I get it. I need a little more. But people saying this is as good as the Netflix show, I wouldn't trust your directions to the bathroom. But they'll call me media illiterate. Happy to be media illiterate. Happy to be media illiterate, wanting some kind of, I don't know, depth and complexity to my characters. I want, when Vanessa Fisk dies, I want to feel it. Like that should be terrible. You should actually have sympathy for Kingpin. At the end of that episode, I'm like, oh, good. Great. One less useless character to deal with to take away screen time from Daredevil in his own fucking show. By the way, Mahler made a great point on Real BBC. I haven't done the exact screen time, but it feels like this show is way more about Kingpin than it is about Daredevil. Yeah, I don't like Born Again. Plus, it's frustrating because you can tell they're trying. They're just not good enough. They're just not. See, you need those writers. You can bring back everybody else. You can bring back stunt coordinators and production designers and gaffers and the original actors. But if you don't have Stephen DeKnight and Drew Goddard, you don't have a Daredevil show. Hassan Piker presents Mando and Grogu. Could Dark Horse Star Wars Legacy still be a possible future? Well, I mean, it's all a Marvel stuff. Maybe. I don't want to see anything made by Disney. If Disney makes something that I like, it will purely be a by accident. I mean, I'm open to it. If they make something good and I like it, I'll tell you. It would be really neat to have a good Star Wars movie. But the best they can hope for is Starfighter with Ryan Gosling, and it's like pretty good, but it's a pretty good side adventure. But maybe they should start that way. Start really small and just make one good movie and don't worry about anything else right now. But Star Wars is cooked because Star Wars is, whether people like to hear this or not, it's a Skywalker saga. And if you're going into other parts, you're practically making a new IP. Street Fighter trailer. We can watch that in a second. Certainly. When will Disney lose money on parks? That is a park. That's a drunk 3PO valiant question. The park people. I don't know what the finances that go into that. I know Walt Disney World and Disneyland in California, they're dominant. They're absolutely dominant. The thing is, there's market share, which Jeremy has brought up quite a bit, and cool factor. And Universal which was never looked at as in the same league as Disney in any way, shape, or form, is to me 1,000 times cooler. So cool factor matters to, not that adolescents can afford going to Walt Disney World. What's keeping Walt Disney World afloat is parents who are too busy to pay attention to a lot of this shit and just want to take their kids to Disney World because they like the idea of Disney World. Me personally, I've never had a desire to go to Walt Disney World. I grew up going to Disneyland, and I know the people who grew up going to Disney World think, oh, it's this tiny little thing. But I think the size of Disneyland is its most impressive thing because they pack so much in a small space, and it's so creatively done, and you are completely immersed, and you're not spending times, wasting 15, 20 minutes on a walk through some path to get to the next ride. You're like, boom ride, boom ride, boom ride. There's something quaint about it that's fucking cool. Plus, it's the OG. But Universal Orlando's fucking amazing. You all need to ride Hagrid, and you need to ride it hard. Ride it hard. Ride them fast. Gary, just started watching you. FNT, great content. Great job. Thanks. Oh, thanks. Appreciate you. Welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Been doing this for a minute. Albert, not a retro for 5 Canadian pesos. I haven't looked forward to anything new since the Thor Love and Thunder trailer. Oh, yeah. Oof. I feel burned. So I'm just picking up older stuff now where I can find it. And that's one of the biggest problems Hollywood has amongst many, many problems is they are competing against themselves. Like I just said, compete against yourself. The problem is they're competing against their own back catalogs. And it's much easier for me or for you or anybody here to just pick up their physical media or whatever streaming service. It's like, oh my God, do I want to watch another bad Netflix movie? Or do I want to binge the X-Files again? I think it's a pretty easy answer. Are they going to fuck up the X-Men? Yes. Yes. Oh, yes. I think that should be your baseline, is Disney's going to fuck it up. And if they don't, be surprised. Same with Harry Potter. It all depends on that casting. And two characters in particular, Magneto and Professor X. If they cast fucking Giancarlo Esposito as Professor X, where he'll be portrayed like Giancarlo Esposito, it's cooked. Where did you get that hat? Any trucker style? Mad Dog, this is from the Van store from like 5 years ago. I don't think it's available anymore. I've even tried to find it on eBay, and it is nowhere. But it is from the Van store. They have ones like this, but the Deathly Hallows, sign of the Deathly Hallows is white, not black. Pee Pee Poo Poo Man for $1. Thank you. The True Wild One. Here's my problem. KC broke, or Kino Casino broke the rule. Also, it wasn't false flagging. He actually did it, in my opinion. That being said, Jer is spurging. I mean, I don't know what happened behind the scenes, and I wouldn't say it definitively. I will say this. And others have said it before. And this would be the same advice Jer would give. Jeremy Hambley. If you went out and said publicly that you're going to deplatform somebody, and then said it privately and that got out, unfortunately, but it got out, that you're going to deplatform somebody, and then that person gets deplatformed almost exactly like you said they were going to get deplatformed, you can't, the internet's going to do what it's going to do. You can't not expect the internet not to do that. Optics isn't the truth all the time. Just isn't. But you have to understand that when you are a content creator. And like I said before, worst thing you can do in prison is snitch. Worst thing you can do on when it comes to content creation is false flag. And whether he did it or not at this time to the internet is going to be immaterial. So honesty, that's I find the best policy to be honesty. And for everything else, I don't know what the truth is. I'm not going to pretend I'm an expert on this. And I have certainly seen it all over my Twitter timeline. But other than that, I hope all parties can come to a nice resolution. But we'll see. I saw Jarbo out there saying something. It's just it's crazy. It's crazy. But you know what, brother? You're entitled to your opinion here. It's all good. Kino Casino is flagged as well. Also, I agree with you. Did they? Have they? I've never heard that, but I mean, what kind of flagging is it though? So if like the one report I've made on YouTube was somebody started a channel called Nerdrotic and started putting up my videos. So I had to flag it down. I did. No regrets at all. But that was it. And that was years ago. But silencing people who listen, there's it's kind of awesome. See, it's about looking at that glass half full. It's like there's a bunch of channels who go after, Jeremy or Az or Drinker or yours truly, and that's awesome. Because you have heard of me. Hail Gary, tonight I'm gonna start Clarkson's Farm. Good. As per your recommendation, thanks to Az, and I watched The Prisoner. Oh, The Prisoner is fucking magnificent. And Quantum Leap. Good show. Both are great shows. And now it's your turn. So I'm going to check one of yours. Thank you, Zen Zoltan. Clarkson's Farm is my happy place. It is such a pleasant show to watch, and it's really fucking funny. And Jeremy Clarkson was born to be a presenter. His comedic timing is unbelievable. And it's kind of a base show. You learn, everybody has sympathy for the working man, and we all have sympathy for farmers, but now we get to see through his exploits and his buffoonery, like how hard they have it through government. It really is a lessening bureaucracy hell, right? And I think this show has actually done a lot to help farmers. So it actually puts good, it's like highly entertaining, funny, but it is good for the world. I think we can all agree that we need food. And the British government is a clown show, not like ours is much better, but yeah. And there's just some great personalities in it. Highly recommended if you haven't seen it. Clarkson's Farm. 4 seasons are out. It's on Amazon Prime. It's the best thing on Amazon Prime. Jacob B. Wolf, thank you for the $1.99. I appreciate it. Thank you. Star Wars question. What is next for Jon Favreau at Disney if the Mando movie is a hit? What's next for him at Disney if it's a flop? I think he's done. I heard along the grapevine that he's done no matter what after this. And, Jon Favreau's made a bunch of money. He could go back and go back to indie stuff. Swingers was a great movie. Great movie. Yeah, I heard he's done. Because right now he is just a hired gun. And it looks more like Iron Man was lightning in the bottle. He did Elf, he did Iron Man, but he also did Jungle Book and Lion King. It's Gary, thoughts on Cowboy Bebop anime? I like it a lot. Very cool. Has anyone collected Fargate lore? Making an audio drama would be cool. If somebody is keeping track, I'd like to know. Because I think that would be fun. Every genre goes through 3 stages: at the beginning, prototype; at its peak, archetype; at its decline, stereotype. I'm going to give you a little applause on that one. Boom. It's impossible to peak twice. Not without restarting, Leo. And it's very, very rare. Very rare. Because Doctor Who peaked twice. It did. But it also took over a decade off. So I think that's important part. Now, as far as like starting over immediately, I don't know if that's ever happened. I'd have to give that some thought. Well said, though. Clarkson's Farm confirmed Memorial Week. Oh, really? Oh, yes. So fuck Star Wars. Yep, Memorial Weekend. Ha ha. Oh my God, I'll be able to cleanse the palate. Although Star Wars is before Memorial. I'll be in Japan. If you were an insecure male, you'd pretend you like stuff you didn't for the social brownie points. That's what these fools don't understand. Yeah. If I use the skills of yours truly, Perry, and Garrett to like fake that I liked Ahsoka or the Acolyte, well, that'd be the first time somebody did that. Has somebody done a drinker type of video or a video like me? Fully edited breakdown. I mean, they had to, right? 20, 25 minutes of how much they loved the Acolyte, breaking down, the good points and why they liked it. Not just going, I think this is really good. That was really neat. That stuff was cool. I thought the effects were awesome. The acting was great. Going to talk about my sponsor for 3 minutes, then come back and go, yeah, it was really neat. And the effects were good. And that was great. Zibba zibow. I don't know. Did Angry Joe do a fully edited video? I mean, he might have. I'll have to watch it. Does he? I mean, I don't watch his stuff. So did he, does he do edited videos, or is it just basically him talking to a camera with his boys for 25 minutes? He doesn't have to script it because I don't script it. I do bullet points. Emergency Awesome. Yeah. Okay. Did Emergency Awesome do the Acolyte? I got nothing against Charlie. Charlie was kind of an inspiration for the channel, and everything is, I mean, you know what? Charlie's never done. I've never seen Charlie call out anybody, right? And Charlie does this thing. He's always telling you like a deleted scene and trailer, and it's not a deleted scene or trailer, but I don't care. Yeah, once in a while, I'll still watch Charlie. So the word on our thumbnail, like cringe or whatever, I got that idea from Charlie. Because he would have WTF or whatever on his thumbnail. And so I got the idea from Charlie. But does Angry Joe do edited videos still? He might. Gary, the chat will watch Angry. I would watch like his pro Acolyte video. I'd love to see it. I mean, Mahler would know more than me who's got a pro Acolyte video. Or Moist Critical. Yeah, I can't watch not Charlie Moist Critical. No, I don't watch Moist Critical. I don't. Asmongold is a orders of magnitude better version of Moist Critical, because he actually makes points that are his own and not straddling a fence. But yeah, if Angry Joe's out there making edited videos still, that's great. I'll check. But my point to the last one is most of the people, you can't fight. You just roll your eyes, right? Again, it comes with the territory of being online. We get a lot of shit all the time, and I sleep like a baby at night. It doesn't bother me. I get a chuckle out of it. Some of it's pretty clever, and I get a chuckle out of it. That's awesome to hear. Clarkson's Farm confirmed for Memorial Weekend. Thoughts on Stargate 1? Any plans on reviewing the series? I'm gonna do basically a me sitting in front of my camera for the members and recapping a season when I get around to it. Kind of focused on Buffy right now. I got a couple videos to make, and then we're moving towards the Buffy streams. So that is my focus. And no, I haven't forgot the Harry Potter one either. My thoughts on the casting for Hunt for Gollum. I don't think this movie should be made. I think the casting's fine. I think the entire concept of this movie is pathetic, and it shows how creatively bankrupt Hollywood is. The geniuses at Warner Brothers, this is all you could come up with. If you were serious, you would be at that Tolkien estate every fucking day. If Amazon can talk them into selling the appendices, there is somebody who can talk them into selling the Silmarillion and the unfinished tales. And then you find somebody who's serious, who knows what the fuck they're doing and what the fuck they're talking about. And you can make TV series and movies for fucking ever. I know we don't live in that world, but that's what I would do. Producing unadapted chapters from a book that are supposed to be shoehorned into movies made 20 years ago is exactly why AI is about to take you over Hollywood. If you have any doubts, it's a lot of reasons, a lot of paper cuts. Sure, you alienated half the country. Sure, you shouldn't have gone on strike. Sure, your big announcements this year are, we're way past sequels. A fifth movie of this franchise, a sixth movie of this franchise, a live action remake of this franchise. Hey, we're doing another sequel in a franchise where we've already made a sequel. So it's the second Mortal Kombat 2. Like, we're in the era of slop. So you're adapting unadapted chapters of a book that wouldn't make very interesting movies. Let's just be real. I am a huge fan of Fellowship of the Ring and the story of the hunt for Gollum as told by Gandalf in Shadow of the Past, and then kind of resolved in the Council of Elrond. A little bit in the appendices is not a good enough story for a movie. Should they have put it in Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings? Sure, yes. If you wanted it 6 hours long, it'd be anticlimactic. Hell, The Hobbit coming out after The Lord of the Rings was anticlimactic. It was. Prequels are inherently tragedies. You know who said that? J.K. Rowling. She's right. So The Hobbit coming after Lord of the Rings, anticlimactic. And now you're doing side stories, and that's not even going to be the only one you're going to do. So that'll be followed up by another side quest. And let me get this straight. So we're going to do the Hunt for Gollum, which in the book is essentially Gandalf telling a story in a chapter. Then the hobbits take off. And while they're still in the Shire, for the most part, they encounter Old Man Willow. They're running from the Dark Riders. They have to meet at the Prancing Pony. They run, and this is before they get there, they run across Tom Bombadil and Marigold and Barrow Downs and get saved by Tom Bombadil again. But everything leads up to them going to the Prancing Pony. So if you've not read the books and you're just watching Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, it's basically keep it secret, keep it safe, which is backwards from the book, until Prancing Pony. So they're filling in all that. How are they going to do that? Don't know. 17 years passes. Because we have Bilbo coming of age when he's 33, Frodo coming of age at 33 with Bilbo's birthday, and then he turns 50 when he takes off. So how is that going to fit? And then 50 Shades of Aragorn. Yeah, I hate it. I don't just not like it. I hate it. Will I watch it? Of course. What, are you crazy? But I fucking hate it. So, I really mean this when I say I hope it's a miserable flop. Tell Verbal Riot he's naive enough to think Marvel is turning around. Sickening stupidity. Ideologues at Disney do not follow reason. Dante's a positive guy. He's a positive guy. And listen, there is a chance, there is a possibility that they could turn things around. I mean, they did have to go. They got rid of the Nia DaCostas of the world, and they went back to the Russos, and they're bringing everybody back. The problem is, I don't think the Russos are even close to the Russos of before. I think those Russos of before got a lot of help because everything the Russos have done, Endgame on, has been shit. I don't even think if Disney Marvel brought back Joss Whedon right now, who would be far more capable and qualified to fix things, I don't think he could. Puppet Edgar is a channel where comedian / puppeteer trolls all the lib protests with the blue puppet. It's amazing. You and Chris Gore will love it. I'm going to watch it now. That's fun. That's awesome. Why am I Triumph? Like Triumph. Daredevil is one of my favorite Marvel comics. Same here. I own a complete run. Up until technically, they've renumbered it a lot, but 500. And not just a complete run. Up until that point, I have every appearance of Daredevil. Marvel Team Up, Marvel 2-in-1, his guest starring in The Defenders, like all the stuff he's been in. And now I've ventured into weird foreign reprints. That's how much I love the character. I have multiple copies of #1. It was the most affordable, like, Marvel key for a long time. I can't stand to see what they have done to him and the Kingpin in this season. It's a travesty. It is. You have Charlie Cox, who my original, and to this day, criticism is either dye your hair red or hire a ginger. And I think Charlie Cox has really embodied Matt Murdock, but he's got red fucking hair. Dye his hair red. I mean, Charlie Cox is already wearing a hair system. You did notice that, right? Charlie Cox has a hair system. So just make it red. But they're very good actors and they are given absolute shit. And Vincent D'Onofrio, it's now becoming like it's beyond a caricature. It's a joke. I think it was Fringy on EFAP was doing impressions now. And remember when we took the Kingpin seriously? Remember when he was intimidating and something to be feared? And every scene he was in was just filled with tension. Now it's like, I wonder when his wife is going to boss him around. I wonder when he's going to, like, listen, this assistant mayor chick is obviously leaking information. Why he's keeping her around. And see, if you wanted to make the Kingpin dangerous in this show, in that last episode, you know who should have been in the trunk? BB Urich. BB Urich should have been in that trunk. You know who should be in the next trunk? His assistant, his female assistant. You know why they're not going to put BB Urich and his female deputy mayor in the trunk? Because that would be showing violence towards women. And we can't portray that in art anymore. So it makes the art predictable. You're like, oh, they're diverse women, totally safe. Marked safe from the Kingpin. Neither of them should survive the series. And that makes your villain formidable. It makes him evil. He is willing to kill a little girl and eat a wonderful breakfast the next day. But no, they have the Kingpin working with this assistant mayor who's obviously working against him. Everybody knows it except for the fucking Kingpin, who's supposed to be this big formidable villain. And then we have him, you know, this task force, which is the biggest task force in the history of task forces that respawns like the Dothraki in Game of Thrones season 8. And they're a bunch of meatheads. And we're expected to believe, Daredevil's like, I can't fight them alone. I need help. I need the defenders to fight these incompetent cops who get themselves killed quite easily. Disney fridged an empowered woman for the man's plot. They would never do that. If this, what you're talking about, Vanessa dying? Vanessa dying was to give Kingpin motivation to go like savage Kingpin when that's not the fucking Kingpin. See, I was under the impression in Netflix Daredevil that was Kingpin Begins. And when you're 5 seasons in, he should be a well-established, powerful, unbeatable Kingpin. And no, he's a Kingpin who's just getting back on his feet. And then he comes in and usurps his wife's organization and he's running it into the ground. If this was the real Vanessa, Kingpin would have broken her skull for cheating on him. Kingpin would never cuck and never would he be. I missed the original Kingpin from the Spider-Man 90 show. Well, in the comics later on, do they have her cheat on him? I think so. He would never kill her, though. Not in the comics. Dude, she kills a kid. Like she gets like Brubaker's run. It's crazy. But yeah, why not just have Vanessa be his ride or die? Kingpin and Vanessa should be like why am I blanking on the name? God, I hate being old. Yeah, that's right. Kingpin and Vanessa should be like Gomez and Morticia. That's what they should be like. Better name for the show is Cuck Pin, Cucked Again. Absolutely. Now that Vanessa is dead, do you think Foggy will be back now that the threat on his life died with her? Make Marvel great again. Maybe. I don't want to put it out of the realm of possibility that Foggy is going to come back and he faked his death. But it doesn't look like it. I also like we have Bullseye and Kingpin in a show with Daredevil, and he's fighting incompetent cops and spending half his time talking to a bunch of annoying, pointless women. Again, BB Urich is not in this story. It makes no difference. Little female white tiger is not in the story. It makes no difference. Where in the fuck are you going with the Heather Glenn story? She's just disappeared. All they did was take screen time. Karen Page is useless. Karen Page should be doing the work that BB Urich is supposedly doing. She should be the reporter. She should be the investigator. That's what she should be doing. Not hitting a punching bag all the time. Gary, what would you think about the Drew? What do you think about Drew Goddard replacing Kevin Feige post Secret Wars? I wouldn't be against it. And honestly, that's interesting that you bring that name up. There's very few. See, getting rid of Kevin Feige, I would be at a loss on like who you could bring in to replace him. Now, it could be a situation like James Gunn where it's like, okay, you're okay as a director, but how good are you as an executive? But Goddard's got except for that fucking TV show he's producing. It's woke shit. My wife loves it, but it's what the fuck is it called? Potential. Oh, that is a rough watch, man. What was it called, chat? It's a procedural. It's got some middle-aged woman. High Potential. Yeah, High Potential. Pretty sure Goddard is producing that. My wife's like favorite shows in the world are Castle and Bones and House. So of course she's gonna Anal Potential. Well, that's not the name of the show. But she is older. The main character is older. They're usually much cooler about that. I mean, it depends on who you ask, I guess. My mom loves it. Yeah, it's made for women, for sure. Sent you a Streamlab last week on new Spider-Man figure. Oh, I got to still log in. I got to log in. Are you going to get me in more trouble, Jose Taco? Because I bought that damn... Oh, hang on. Shit, now I got to look. I might be in even more trouble. Hang on. Oh, I still got an hour. I'm bidding on something that I'm going to have to go to Arkansas to pick up, but it's worth it. I'll tell you about it once the bid's over. I'll check it out. I can't wait for the scene between CGI AI John Lithgow, who he died 2 seasons ago, and Severus Snape Benefits. Snap benefits. After all this time for shizzle, I hope John Lithgow lives forever. Quartering's favorite chair. Thank you for the $1. Ugh. This is why you got to own this stuff. Texan War Eagle. Gary, why does Shang-Chi exist? I think I could toss any of the new Marvel stars into Sagittarius A. He'd get my vote to be spaghettified in there. Shang-Chi was a mistake from the start. So getting some really feminized dude from a Canadian sitcom to play the master of the martial arts, who is essentially Bruce Lee. He's supposed to be Bruce Lee. So you get somebody who looks like Bruce Lee, and you make that a street level crime drama with kung fu, and you find the best fight coordinators you can possibly find, and you make it a kung fu movie. You make it a rated R kung fu movie. You don't have them getting 10 rings and fighting fucking dragons and surrounded by 3 women. It's not what you do with Shang-Chi. But they decided to use the character, and what did Simu Liu say about the comics? They're racist. Of course, he said they're racist. But I can never pronounce his last name. The Paul Galassi is the art in those comics is phenomenal for the most part. But that's the only way he should exist. When did Hollywood stop having the ability to write heroes as good guys instead of always trying to defy expectations and making the bad guy nuanced? It comes with, oh boy, I'm really glad I did this live stream. I'm workshopping my Marvel video, and you guys are asking great questions, and it's really helpful. So let's go back, Matthew, to 2013, 14, right? When did the Harvey Weinstein stuff go to? About a decade ago, right? So Me Too starts. Me Too, the Obama administration really starting to push DEI through entertainment, and then TDS. A combination of those 3 things really significantly changed how Hollywood produces their, and I'm going to air quote, art. As far as diversity and inclusion, it was happening naturally, matching the demographics of the United States, and nobody really had a problem with it. But when they started forcing more, so forced diversity, we heard this a lot, but that's what it is. When you went further than, okay, we're going to race swap a side character here. No, we're going to race swap the main character, or worse yet, gender swap the main character, like with Doctor Who. And these DEI rules came in, and you also couldn't portray anybody of color or any marginalized group as a villain anymore. You can't tell stories anymore because it would be insensitive. It's perfectly okay to have white people being killed, or it's fine. You can't really portray a Mexican gang anymore. You can't really portray a black gang anymore. You can't have the Punisher killing black people at all. Like, in the show, I think there'll be one mixed in with like 10 white dudes, but it's always going to be ruled by your identity politics, which handcuffs you as a writer creatively. Because, like I just said with Daredevil, it would have much more impact if the assistant mayor or BB Urich was in that trunk. At the end, that buck was going to cut up with the Salzal. But they can't do that. So that's why they are writing villains with so much nuance. Because they have a Marxist perspective. So this is oppressor, oppressed, instead of good guy, bad guy. If that makes any sense. Jeremy Clarkson is a damn pimp in every man's clothes. Yes, he is. And that's a compliment for me. Sudoku has become a new member. Thank you. Saw the new Mummy movie. Pretty good and disturbing. All right. Yeah, that came out, didn't it? Clarkson's Farm is the best show behind Grand Tour Top Gear. Agreed. Duke Devil has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships. Hail Duke Devil. Thank you. Member twice as long as the main channel. Speaking of swingers, the movie. Let's be very specific here. If you want to see the sci-fi related version, go watch RMB's Free Enterprise. I've seen it. We screened it at our meetup through Salty Nerd Podcast. Help put it. Where are those guys, by the way? What happened to the Salty Nerd Podcast? Give me just a second. When the hell they been? Kadish, what are you doing? Anyway, they put on a screening of Free Enterprise, and it was great. Will I invite Jenny Nicholson to your show? I would talk to her. I don't think she would talk to me. I don't think I or Mahler or anybody are really popular with her and her circles, which is fine. She did a really good job on the not the Galaxy Edge, the Galactic Star Cruiser video was really good. But I'd certainly talk to her. I don't know if she would talk to me, if that makes any sense. There's some people like I would certainly like to invite on, but I don't, because I know they don't collab and they really stay out of, which sucks, but I totally understand. They really stay out of the culture stuff, and they don't want to get it. I can't tell you how many people go, I'd love to come on your show and talk to you, but I don't want to put up with the shit. And I'm like, I don't blame you a bit. No hard feelings at all. Spaceballs 2 trailer. It's just Mel Brooks talking, or else I'd show it. Thank you for becoming a member. Have you seen Justin Trudeau singing Talk Moistly? It's hilarious. I wish I had the patience to make stuff like that. No. I know he went to Coachella with Katy Perry, who rubbed her vag, allegedly, against Ruby Rose's face and made her projectile vomit, which I think Ruby Rose is lying. I think if she said she just rubbed it in my face, when she said she projectile vomited, that sounds to me like she's elaborating a little bit. If you invite Despot of Antrim, I like Despot on FNT, and he doesn't bring the racist coffee pot to have a fight with Ryan, I will be so disappointed. Love that character. We'll get him on the show. There might be a show potentially, because we're going to have a lot of people out coming up soon. So I'm going to have to like bring in a bunch of newbies. We're going to start rotating in some different folk too, just to shake things up a little bit. Real Fake Wizards coming back this Friday. And so is Rags. But yeah, we'll get him on. That guy's fucking hilarious, man. SMG's comment comes from season 1, when she thought she could have had a normal life with a normal boy. She tells Sarah Michelle Gellar. She tells Giles, if the apocalypse comes, beat me. Oh, from her I'm sorry it's canceled video. Gotcha. My buddy Renaissance Nerd got tips to do a video praising Mando Grogu on his channel. We're going to Disney World Star Wars on May 25th to stream him. Shill Disney Star Wars. This will break his soul. So he got tips to do a video praising it. I mean, like, listen, do what you got to do. Does he, but Duke Devil, does he like it or not like it? And did he get tips? Like, he's got money to go. And so did he get money from like super chats? I'm not following this. Sorry, Duke Devil. I would recommend go watch it and review it honestly, no matter what the tips. We respect the tips. We respect super chats around here. That's awesome. But, and again, maybe I'm just completely misunderstanding it, but I ain't going to lie. Not going to lie. Nope. Racist coffee pot catchphrase. But Duke Devil, you rule, brother. Thank you. It was great seeing you in Florida again. They should have cast Zendaya as Aragorn. I agree, Eric. Eric, is it your birthday too? Sorry you got overshadowed by X-Ray Girl and Gina Carano. Happy 78th birthday. You don't look a day over 80. Thoughts on Guy Ritchie's Young Sherlock? Thought it was decent, but the best part was definitely Moriarty, but Colin Firth arc could have been better. I was going to see it, Uzi, and then Az told me it starts out good and turns into DEI bullshit. So I'm going to not waste my time. Just got here. Is the trailer out yet? Did I miss it? No, I don't think the trailer's coming out. I need to change the title. We went over the Mandalorian and Grogu trailer, which is not good. I'm checking again. Nope. But if any of y'all see it, like, just scream. Why no Beardo on FNT? Because he wants to be. And you can't always get what you want. It's a powerful life lesson. No, it's become a meme now. Like, we can't just it's got to, like, we almost let him on. So what happened was, I can't remember. It was when we were at Orlando, and I was going to put that's why my face is on the thumbnail, because it was going to be my face on the thumbnail, which is never on the thumbnail, and then bring Beardo on, and then somebody was going to be late, so we were going to be able to bring them on. But that person didn't communicate how late they were going to be. And and we were on the road. So it's all right. It's all right. If you think it looks like a shit show, like, to you guys, it is. It is. I'll send you an email tomorrow about what I do for the next Spider-Man movie. Gotta go. I'll catch the rest of the show tomorrow. Hail, brother. Go do what you got to do. Despot of Antrim has April Fool video. How Jared Leto perfected the Joker. He plays it straight. That's how you do a April Fool's video. That's exactly how you do it. See, I want to do a video like that, not on April 1st, just to fuck with people. Like, but it'd have to be something that wouldn't be that obvious for me. Like, I'm not going to come out and go 10 reasons why The Rings of Power is the greatest show ever made. So, something to that effect. Did Chrissy's father get killed by a black man and then become racist towards blacks? I don't, Chrissy's father was murdered, Batman, and murdered saving his girlfriend in Las Vegas, and I don't believe they have caught anybody yet. which is tragic. But at least I guess at least he went out saving he took the bullet for his girlfriend. She would have been shot if it wasn't for him. Duke Devil for $5. So I heard Paramount announced a new Trek project. No, they'll spend $200 million on a movie. Bullshit. Remastered DS9 for $25 million. Take my money now. Yeah, I would spam David Ellison with don't make another movie until you remaster DS9, Voyager, everything. Original series and original series would be the easiest to remaster because it's on film. But no, remaster TNG, Voyager, DS9, Enterprise, all in 4K. Don't need another movie. Yeah, they have another movie in development. It'll never get off the ground. There is no Star Trek movie that anybody could come up with that would have mass appeal and put butts in the seats. Now, there are a lot of Star Trek pitches you could come up with that would be really good TV series, but there is no fucking movie that exists that will get people in the theaters. Ultimate Spider-Man TV show did Iron Fist, White Tiger, Luke Cage so much better than Disney. Also, that Spider-Man is genuinely funny, unlike Tom Holland, says Leo. Napsky for 20 says, Hail, Gary. You know who would have been a better reveal from Peter Jackson to work with Tolkien instead of Colbert? Guillermo del Toro. Would love to see his take on The Hobbit now that a remake needs to happen. Guillermo del Toro is not the kind of guy you hire to make a trilogy. I'm telling you that right now. He is a magpie. You saw a lot of what is in particularly Unexpected Journey. A lot of that stuff is his. And remember, Guillermo was fired. Guillermo is best doing his own stuff. He's not disciplined enough to, not necessarily a criticism, but he's not the kind of guy who can put a trilogy together that's filmed back to back. That's just not how he works. He's artist first. So he's not really good on the whole timely on budget thing. That's what I've heard. I asked Ryan already and he couldn't, but could you explain per capita to me? Says Black Snape. No, you're asking. Ask X-Ray Girl. Ask X-Ray Girl. Per capita is averages, basically. Salty Nerd's new channel is The Brain Show. Well, that's Popcast. That's not Salty Nerd. That's the Popcast guys. Who don't believe my rumor. I'm hurt. I'm hurt that they don't believe my scoop. Trailer leaked. Can you watch it, man? Does somebody have a link? Can somebody email me a link to leak trailer? I'd absolutely watch it. It's on this channel, so if we get hit. Let's see. I don't see an email. I'm looking. Oh, there it is. No, that can't be it. Yeah, that's not it. Is this it? Hang on. Nope, that's AI. Nope. There's an image. I don't know if that's real. There's a couple of images. That's not real. That's not that's real. Okay, that's an image. That's AI. That's definitely AI. Holy shit, that was terrible. That's a collection of the 4 trailers they came out with already. That is an image. Is that real? That's not real. I'm looking, folks. Here, I'll show you one image that I found. I don't know if it's real or not. I honestly don't know. But let's look at it anyway. It doesn't excite me at all. Probably fake. Yeah, I'm uber blind. I mean, what are you going to walk by a dude with a wheelchair go, man, you really can't fucking walk? If anybody finds the leak trailer, Gary at nerdrotic.com, shoot me the link. Rob Liefeld is singing its praises. Do you think this picture is real? I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't know why he'd have long hair. I fucking hate that Captain America is not going to be suited up for an entire movie. So it's just going to be Chris Evans running around in his street clothes. His second to last movie, and you're going to have the entire movie of Chris Evans running around in street clothes because you don't want to hurt Anthony Mackie's feelings that you set up Captain America for, and it was a complete failure from the start. You should have just pulled the plug. And the beginning of the movie should be Sam Wilson going, "You're back. This belongs to you. I'm good going back to Falcon." And then Wakanda can gift him like a vibranium fucking Falcon costume. We're good. No. Everybody's just showing the leaked footage of the Infinity War trailer. Oh, now that one has been taken down. Okay, so that one was real. That has been taken down. Shoot. No, that's AI. Okay, so that picture I showed you was AI. That's from some AI thing. Yeah, that's not real. That's not real. I'm surprised we're not seeing more. Nope. Sorry, this is boring. I'll try a little longer. Nah. All right. If somebody has it. I will tell you when's a good time to tell you. Let me look at I'm going to make a promise. I'm a fucking terrible grifter. For the shit I know, right now, I could make a video guaranteed 1 million views. Guaranteed. I know one particular project they're going to do post Secret Wars, and I know what happens at the end of Secret Wars. I will tell you before Doomsday comes out. It'll probably be a stream like this one, because I don't want to bring a ton of attention to it. But I could promise you this: you don't want to hear it. What happens at the end of Secret Wars, you do not want to hear it. It's not going to inspire you. There is no Spaceballs 2 trailer. There's just Mel Brooks. God bless him, talking. But thank you. The main issue that people have with guys like Hambly and Rekieta is the inauthenticity and the double lifestyle. When they present themselves as Christian family men and are caught in questionable acts. Garfield's Bizarre Adventures for $10. I mean, we're all human. We all make mistakes. And it's about, well, you want to avoid that. You definitely don't want to live the double life thing, right? But just own it. Just own it and atone, or do the work to get back, especially, if you're a Christian, you don't stop being a Christian. You just work your way back, I'm not going to sit here and pass judgment on people who've made mistakes. I've made terrible mistakes in my life. And you have to do the work to win back trust of your family, which is honestly the one thing you should be focusing on, or I should be focusing on or I would be focusing on is, working to get the family back and forget the internet shit right now. Take a break. Take a break. It's not worth your life. It's not worth your life. That's why when I sold the comic store, I could have and I probably would have been much better off if I had just closed it. I could have sold that stuff later, but I was thinking of my customers and I still wanted them to have a place. Brian Hibbs came out, was a very good businessman, and made an offer that I absolutely could have refused, but I was also not in the best state of mind. Brian knew it. Again, Brian was being a good businessman. I hold no resentment over this. Sold the store for a song. But I did that because I had to make a choice. It's like, am I going to try to kill myself and keep this store going, or do I want a family? So obviously, even as bad a state of mind I was in, I chose family and had to start over, eat a bunch of fucking humble pie and crow, and go back and work a job that paid me $12 an hour. Here I am in my 40s, and I've been a professional in multiple fields, but I was also a burnout, relapsed drug addict, and I needed to, it was my higher power serving me up some humility, and I needed to start at the bottom and work my way back up again. And it was really important that I did that. It turns out, but yeah. In the, I don't know how Nick's doing right now, but always say a prayer for the addict who still suffers. And again, I have no knowledge of what's going on with Nick right now. I just hope he gets sober. Zanzoltan for 500 arses. Hey, Gary, you know what you could play as a great gamer? The game Marvel Cosmic Invasion. Oh, I have that. I haven't played it yet, but I have it. It's on Steam, and it's a beat 'em up. I like those. Easy to learn with characters from Marvel. They really did a great job with the game. Bit short, but good. That's cool. Ultimate Alliance. That's my jam. I fucking love that game. I love that game. I love that game. Ultimate Alliance 2 is awesome as well. Those were the talk of my store when they came out. People were very surprised how good it was. I'm still looking for a real Doomsday trailer, and it's just, there's so much fucking AI. I guess Marvel can be thankful for that. There's so much bullshit AI out there that it obfuscates like any leaks. But it looks like some of the images are real. It looks like Chris Evans does have long hair. Ooh, what's that? Fake. Sorry. I give up. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't just release it. They need to hurry up. What they need to do is build up Doctor Doom, because we know nothing about him. Zero. And if you're going to center this whole movie around Doctor Doom, you're going to have to introduce him as a character. And somehow throughout the course of the movie, they're probably going to make some instance where we'll have sympathy for him, but we want to know his wants, his desires, his motivations. And especially when you're centering it around a villain, which is a complete mystery. If you want to, and I don't even like the approach of, we want to make it like Infinity War. How about make it like a Doctor Doom movie? If you're already having to copy your own previous success, then you're not really being innovative, are you? And we all know that, Thanos was set up over time. And in those little scenes he was in, we set up that he was a badass. Drugs and booze, some call them the devil's tools. They are. And having used some, I can understand that. Mainly keep sober, and life now feels so much better. It does. It does. Huh. Sell your comics before or after you die. Calling dibs now. They go to my kid. defending the truth. He can decide what to do with them. Thank you for the $2. I appreciate it. All right. Check your DMs. Sent you a link. Okay. Twitter. Here we go. Here we go. Now, will I get in trouble for showing this? Let me scan it real quick. Talk amongst yourselves. It's very dark. I don't think that's real. That looks pretty AI to me. That looks pretty AI to me. Oh. Sorry. Chris put up a tweet saying Star Wars is back and better than ever. Don't take that seriously. I hate to bust his sarcasm, but yeah, that's not it. So sorry, folks. I'll have to change this title to Mandalorian and Grogu trailer reaction. The consensus at CinemaCon, which is a bunch of critics, is it kicks ass. What Chris told me is trailer is okay. It's a teaser, should be going online now, and it never did. So I imagine maybe tomorrow morning we'll all see it. I wonder if I can. It's not letting me change. Because fucking StreamYard sucks now. I got to change the thumbnail too. Let's see if it lets me change. Nope. I'll do it later. Yeah, I don't know if I'm getting excited about the Doomsday trailer. I can't say I'm excited, which is insane. I should be excited. I thought the Spider-Man trailer was okay. Thought it was pretty good. Saw a couple people on Twitter who only watched or only saw the thumbnail, thought I hated it. And I'm like, oh no, actually, thought it was fine. Thought it was fine. We'll do it live. Zephyr says, I think you missed my super chat. I will go and look, Zephyr. I apologize. Let's see. I have no X-ray girl holding my hand today, so forgive. Garrett, you don't have to worry about the video coming out tomorrow. You don't. I kind of want to wait anyway. Just going to do a couple of videos back to back, and you'll get them Monday and Tuesday or Wednesday. I don't see it. Zephyr, just go ahead and copy and paste it, put it in the regular chat, and I'll read it. Sorry, bud. I don't see it. Current Hulk is ruining Marvel cosmology, just slop. In the comics or with Mark Ruffalo? I wouldn't know in the comics. I wouldn't know. I did get sent Absolute Batman. So somebody sent it to me, so I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna reread. I have it somewhere. Woman of Tomorrow before Supergirl comes out. I'll probably regret that because I hated it when I first read it. What kind of breakfast cereal would Glenn Danzig make? How nutritious would it be? Soylent Green is not just for breakfast anymore. That is an odd chat. Kelly Matthew Barnes. Well, I have broke bread with Glenn Danzig, but we didn't have breakfast cereal. We had these little catering sandwiches, and Glenn Danzig got me a Red Bull out of a fridge. I walk in, he looks at me and my wife. He's like, "Do you guys want anything to drink? We got some wonderful snacks over there. Would you?" I'm like, "Yeah, Red Bull." And I was fully expecting to go get it myself. And Glenn Danzig gets up and hands me a Red Bull. And I'm like, that was fucking cool. I met him backstage in Austin at whatever arena is at the University of Texas. His manager watches Friday Night Tights and watches my stuff. Sent us an email, got us some free tickets. It's cool. As soon as we got in there, he texted me. He's all, no, you got to come to the stage. So we went to the stage and then met everybody. And Jerry only gave me one of his custom basses in a Misfits bass. It's one of the greatest things I own. I need to find a good place for it in my office. I heard Green Hell from the stage, standing about 10 feet away from Danzig, right next to the drum kit. I'll never be able to hear quite the same again. One of the most awesome nights ever. I'm seeing my favorite punk band together again. The only punk band that I feel has stayed true to what punk is. I mean, punk's a lot of things, right? Punk's a lot of things. I certainly listen to a lot of bands who lyrically I couldn't stomach anything they say now. But all those motherfuckers who said they were anarchists, which I believed when I was a teenager, I was like all about anarchy. Turns out they were just a bunch of fucking commies. You know who is based? One of the most based punk rock bands out there? Suicidal Tendencies. So they opened up for Danzig and they shredded. They have a new drummer. The kid was like, I don't know, 19. He fucking shredded. That was a great show. It's been a long time since I've seen the Suicidal Tendencies. The Art of Rebellion is one of my favorite albums of all time. You know, right around that time, Countdown to Extinction, Art of Rebellion, there were just some good albums good music coming out. How did I get started in the Hollywood business? I just got a job. But you mean talking about it, like doing what I'm doing now? Long story short, what I talk about here on streams and with Friday Night Tights and way more in depth with way more research in my videos is no different than what we talked about in my comic store or what I talked even prior to that, what I talked about with my friends. We were always a bunch of nerds. So anytime me and my buddy Jay, who might be in the chat right now, and Doug, who were close friends of mine, anywhere we went, we talked about this stuff. We talked about movies we hated, we loved, talked a lot of shit. And I worked at a record store, worked in retail, and then I worked in the comic store. So it was obviously, talking about comic book TV shows and movies just all day long, every day. Always interested in this stuff. When I got up every morning, way prior to this job, I checked the entertainment websites and I checked them obsessively at work, probably when I shouldn't have, because I'm a nerd. I was in the OneRing.net forums in the early fucking days. I was going to Force.net, MuggleNet. Yeah, just been a fan all my life. I did work in Hollywood for a couple of years for Technicolor. Pre-mastering technician, worked on a lot of Blu-rays and DVDs. Did some editing, did some ghost editing for Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Helped fix up a couple of episodes of House. Created some menus for Game of Thrones DVDs. Yeah. Early on before season 1. True Blood, a lot of stuff. I mean, it was just House is fucking magnificent. Technicolor still around? I think they are. I don't know in what capacity. But I worked on the Hollywood Way location, which was right across from the Burbank Airport. And I was on a schedule of 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. One week I'd work 3 days. The next week I'd work 4 days. And on the weekends, I drove home to San Francisco. Decky, where did you see it, buddy? I'm going to see if somebody sent it to me on Twitter, but I don't think so. Nope. Oh, Chris Pavlovsky weighs in. He says, no, I'm not taking sides. I don't get involved in creator drama. If I did, I'd waste my days dealing with thousands of Rumble creators. If YouTube cancels someone, take it up with YouTube. It has nothing to do with Rumble. If someone on Rumble is for cancel culture, I absolutely don't agree with that, but that's their prerogative and their choice. But I definitely won't fall to pressure by canceling them back. That's fair. In fact, we welcome whoever got canceled on Rumble. YouTube was a bad choice to begin with. That's Chris Pavlovsky on the quartering situation of Rumble. Nothing to argue about there. I don't think anybody's for anybody getting canceled, right? I think we can all agree on that. Okay, you can see the very I'm checking my email and I haven't seen any link. Garrett, you still out there? Have you found anything? Anybody? Yep. I probably couldn't show it anyway. I'd probably get in a little bit of trouble. Nothing that I know of. I think with the controversy that's going on with the quartering, I think a lot of people were hitting up the CEO of Rumble and asking him what he thinks and is he down with this? And I think his response was fine. I think his response was fine. What the hell is email gay here with the trailer? Come on, Eric. Come on, Eric. Are you scared? You should be. Line sums up the whole Mando trailer. Needs Sam Witwer to do Star Killer kills Disney Star Wars. Sam Witwer seems like a good dude. Jeremy spoken class today. Fuck. Can we cancel and deplatform? I hate that song. I hate Pearl Jam so fucking much. I am for canceling and deplatforming Pearl Jam. I'm against it in all their cases, except for Pearl Jam. And Bon Jovi. Explain. They are it's like having AIDS, frosted, and cancer injected into the creative receptors of my brain. Okay, so Bon Jovi, what is behind my loathing of Bon Jovi? I mean, admittedly, it's partially because I'm music snob wouldn't be the right word because I like just hardcore and thrash. I didn't hate hair metal. I just saw them as the cheesiest, most commercial, sellout, homo metal I've ever seen. So I've just always hated their music. Why I hate Pearl Jam is a completely separate issue. I don't like Bon Jovi, but I can respect that he's made money and at least he wasn't pretentious. So I'm being nice. He wasn't pretentious. Not till later. Not until what made me hate him worse is when he started getting political and it just annoyed the fuck out of me. Pearl Jam, of all the bands to survive grunge, it had to be them. I think Pearl Jam was one of the most pretentious fucking bands to ever live. And like I'm comparing, like at least REM was good. And I'm not into mumble rock, right? Now Cookie Monster metal, I'm down with, and I'm not saying that makes sense, but I'm not into mumble rock, especially with pretentious Eddie Vedder, who thought he was making some high art with fucking grunge. It's like, get out of here. When almost every grunge band was better. REM at least had versatility. They can do some fun songs. But yeah, I just don't like Pearl Jam. Oh, for sure. When I was a young man, I liked them. I did, but like for the music, I just kind of on the lyrics, but now I fucking hate them. But I love Alice in Chains, Soundgarden, Stone Temple Pilots, who are always considered poser grunge by the Seattle scene. Stone Temple Pilots is like orders of magnitude better than Pearl Jam. TAD, who's TAD? TAD. Temple, no. TAD. Who's TAD? You probably get it. I love the Pixies. Absolutely love the Pixies. Had a crush on that lesbian Kim Deal for a long time. Oh, just Tad. Wood Goblins is peak. I was going to say Temple of the Dog. That's kind of Pearl Jam too. But at least that has the late, great Chris Cornell. Dude, his Bond theme was awesome, by the way. Yeah, Stone Temple Pilots was fucking ruled. Sid Barrett was scary, good, but always kind of crazy. I just watched Roger Waters, super popular guy within Pink Floyd, but David Gilmour just loves him to death. And Roger Waters, big fan of Israel and the Jews. Was talking about Sid to Joe Rogan. I was just watching that a couple days ago. And he was always kind of schizophrenic, and it was probably the drugs that kicked it in, but also with some mental illness with men. I don't know if this is the way, if it's the same way with women, but with men, sometimes it kicks in your early 20s. I've seen it happen to friends of mine. I'm pretty sure it was all the fucking acid he took. Those hallucinogenics that people like Joe Rogan will tell you are completely safe. They're not. They're not for everybody. And especially if you have something like schizophrenia and you're dropping acid, you ain't coming home. You ain't coming home. Alice in Chains was the best band. Chris Cornell, the best singer. Lane Staley was a crooner. Jar of Flies is one of my favorite albums of all time. Wore that son bitch out. R.I.P. Lane and Jerry, indeed. Jar of Flies is that little EP is freaking genius, man. Rogan does say hallucinations are for everyone. He does, to be fair to him. And what do I know? Maybe mushrooms are good for treating PTSD. I'm not against people trying it, for sure. I would be more inclined to like believe mushrooms are good for some therapy than a chemical that's created like LSD. My favorite concert experience. Ooh, I've been to a lot. (1984), and I've been to a lot of shows. A lot of shows. My most memorable was This wasn't my favorite concert experience, but definitely my most memorable. Walking out of Wabash Hall in San Diego as a little punk rocker in early days, like 14 or 15. And this is, punks versus skinheads days. And the skinheads are outside. We get out of Dead Kennedys. Pretty sure the Vandals open for that show. And the skinheads were waiting for us and just thumping on all the punk rock. Like, never met these dudes in my life. Couldn't tell you where they came from. We walk out. My friend goes, "Oh, fuck, it's the skinheads." And they start beating the shit out of us. And I'm like, I had my Dead Kennedys, No Nazi Punks armband on. And I guess they didn't like that. And we did what any normal, really high kid would do. Fucking ran the first chance I got. Greatest concert experience. This is, if you are of my age and you grew up in San Diego, this is the stuff of legend. We have a thing in San Diego called the Del Mar Fair. Happens right up to 4th of July every year. And it's a carnival, and San Diego was kind of boring at the time. So everybody in San Diego descended on the Del Mar Fair, teenagers, sex, drugs, rock and roll, all that stuff. And they have concerts. So one year they decided to have a cool concert. And usually it's like what's left of the Mamas and the Papas, or what, it's like they decided to get Oingo Boingo in 1984. And the seats at the horse race track seat about 5,000. They got 12,000 people showing up for this show. People are hanging off the rafters. Coked up Danny Elfman comes out. They fucking shred. They just absolutely kill for 8 songs. And then the fire marshal has to cut it off. But that was there was a mosh pit. It was and it was like early days of Oingo. So they were like really tight and weren't in their pop phase yet. So all they had was Only a Lad, Nothing to Fear, Good for Your Soul. And that was rad. That was a rad show. And probably Iggy at Coachella. Iggy and the Stooges reuniting at Coachella was unbelievable. Unbelievable. That was many, many years ago. White Stripes were my shit in high school. Saw them in Cleveland in 2003, last show in the Elephant Tour. I still have one of Jack White's guitar picks. He threw it there. That's fucking awesome. And I saw them. They played right before Iggy and the Stooges at Coachella. And it was one of the last times Meg was there. Her hair was flowing in the wind. It was awesome. Batman versus Superman. Who would win? Think about it. Intellect and muscles. Clark isn't stupid either. Actually, very smart guy. So Superman wins. Nick Tomato. Superman beats Batman. The only way he wouldn't win is if he doesn't want to win. The original runtime of Dark Side of the Moon is 42 minutes, 49 seconds. I think Pink Floyd did it better than Artemis 2. The Pretty Reckless 25 is a great Bond theme. All right, we're going to wrap things up. Sorry about not finding the trailer. I feel kind of bad. Allegedly in the Doomsday, there's Duke Devil. Thanks, brother, for $10. In the Doomsday trailer, Thor says they have faced enemies stronger than them and beat them all, but Doom actually scares him. There's your setup, I guess. Do we really need more? Sarcasm, right? Just watch the Doomsday trailer. Disney has learned nothing. Why a chick has to, as the first hero? Because they have learned nothing. We talked about that one. We talked about that one. That one too. Could your next panel be on gatekeeping without purity spiraling? How do you keep the disruptives out without turning off possible new fans? As far as like our favorite IPs and normies, you see, the key is, Matt, you don't need to keep people out. Okay. I mean, you do, but that will happen naturally. So if you're talking about fandom and you're talking about shows, we have some examples of how to succeed, and it's pretty fucking easy. You would think this is some kind of physics problem that nobody can answer, but we've had some great examples. Top Gun Maverick, A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. I'll just pick those two. Project Hail Mary. When you're doing tentpole stuff, especially when it's supposed to be mass appeal and fun, you don't bring any politics in of any kind. And you just try to make the best, most authentic story possible, particularly if you're going to base it on a book. You make the characters from the book look like the characters from the book. You keep that in tone while completely understanding that you can't adapt everything, but don't make any unforced errors, no forced diversity. Nobody on Earth was complaining about the lack of diversity in Project Hail Mary. Nobody on Earth was complaining about the lack of diversity in A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And nobody would have complained if Snape looked like Snape. Nobody. All you would have done is made money, and then the questions would have been on the actual quality of your show. Hollywood is making these decisions, and I am more than convinced it comes from an excess, particularly in genre, of female executives. It just does. So you can be diverse and experiment and all you fucking want in a procedural show that's not based on anything or an original work, but forcing it into established brands, the reason they do it is obvious, and you all know the answer. It's because woke storytelling can't sell on its own. So it needs to force its way into something that'll be successful, because the motivation is not to entertain you, it's to educate you and never let you rest. That's why when you hear a lot of protest, particularly with BLM, they always talked about white comfort and being comfortable. Well, the activist doesn't want you comfortable. The activist wants you paying attention all the time to the troubles in the world. You must always be fighting for justice every second of your life. The problem is when you're doing it through Star Wars or Star Trek, it is at best just a virtue signal. That's absolutely meaningless. That will bring no real change in the world. I find that if you want to bring change in the world, don't be an asshole in your real life. Be as nice and respectful as you can. And that's how you benefit the world the most. Let me show you a tweet that kind of sums it up. That sums up everything wrong with, not that this person's in Hollywood, but their attitude, right? So Variety came out with an article earlier today that I completely agree with. Or Hollywood Reporter, same thing, owned by the same company, Penske Media. Hope Core is, I'm sorry I'm reading this. I'm 56 years old. Hope Core is the vibe shift Hollywood needs. And I responded with, on this, we can agree. Hollywood can enact change in the world and do some real good in the world by being what it is, entertainment. making people happy, bringing people together. Of course, that's not every aspect of entertainment, but when you're talking about summer blockbusters, you want to thrill and entertain so people can have a collective experience and come, walk out of the theater with a smile on their face or blown away, and they want to see it again and they want to tell their friends. There's no better marketing. Hollywood has been in this trap, thanks to the activists who have taken over that town, that every piece of art needs to be enacting social change. The only problem with that is whether you agree with their politics or not, they're not right about everything. So if you're not right about everything, then how are you enacting social change? So the person below me says, you mean propaganda in times of war? And it's Project Hail Mary. But that's the kind of person, affluent, woke, white female, probably had all her bills paid by daddy, probably didn't have a lot of struggle in the world, and instead of, settling down, getting married, having kids, which gives you meaning in life, they always search for, this goes for dudes too, they lack that meaning, so they look for the battles online. Propaganda, ma'am, this is a Wendy's. Ma'am, we are talking about Project Hail Mary and making some movies that are a little more hopeful, aspirational, and inspirational. Here's the problem with aspirational and inspirational, and you've heard me say this before, Matthew. These are the hardest things to write. They're really hard to write because you have to be capable of having a positive outlook on life and not being so black-pilled. Most of the writers in Hollywood now lack experience and have a very cynical and ironic view of the world that's been going on for 100 years, by the way, long time. And if you have something like Project Hail Mary, the cynical black pillars of Hollywood will see it as childish. They see everything good as evil. But that's a good idea for a panel. That is. The Pearl Jam Jarl, I like them for a minute. It's a lot of people like Pearl Jam. It's okay. Just understand that I don't. Bon Jovi. I get what you said there. Bon Jovi got more music as the public than the public toilet seat. Remember Tad Woodgoblin's Peak? I don't remember that one. We'll soon have trash 2000s nostalgia slot media. Oh, we're on our way there. We're way past like the 90s, right? There's some good stuff in the 90s, by the way. I was in my 20s in the 90s. Come on, Gary, don't cry when you hear Eddie Vedder sing, I'm a foreign on a wizard web realm. Those lyrics get me right here. Rumored that TPR submitted it, but Billie Eilish won. What is that referring to? Monsters of Rock 88 at the Silverdome. That was probably awesome. So is Kang just is Kang just memory hold? What happened to all that setup? Good question. I mean, are they going to reference it? Honestly, I think they felt like they dealt with Kang with Loki season 2. There'll probably be there has to be some passing reference. There would have to be. But there I go, being a sweet summer child again. Yeah, but That's the point. In it, Superman leaves and Bruce knows it to a point. Mars was Eden. The moon was the Ark. Earth is Mount Ararat. I love that theory. That's how the Penguin outsmarts the Batman. Despite being a dumbass. No? I was at Coachella for that show. Roadie for Red Hot Chili Peppers. We had to crew all the downstage lights to stage to keep Iggy from throwing them. Oh, that's funny. Yes, Red Hot Chili Peppers opened up for that. Yeah, it was Red Hot. It was, no, White Stripes, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Iggy and the Stooges. Picard versus Kirk. Kirk beats his ass. You kidding me? All right, we're going to wrap things up. Thanks for not reacting to a Doomsday trailer. I'll change the thumb in the title. I apologize, everybody. Maybe tomorrow. Or I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it by now. They should have just fucking released it. I don't know what the hell their problem is. But they're not going to release it this late at night. So tomorrow morning, thanks to the Nerdrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat donation. You help keep the lights on. Thanks to all the lurkers. See you tomorrow on Friday Night Tights. Bye-bye.